What is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today we're going to be showing you how to cleanse corrupted maps and what you need to do to access a nexus in the endgame or the Atlas of Worlds in Path of Exile 2. So first thing we're going to do is kind of identify what one of those areas would look like. So first and foremost, now corrupted areas look a little bit different. Obviously, they still have the corruption and they still have these little red nodes here that mark corrupted maps. But typically in the center, you're going to see a map that looks like this. And this is a glowing red map, indicating that it's the nexus or the source of corruption. So what you need to do is essentially, in order to cleanse it, you need to find a clear path there. And depending on what your ultimate goal is, and we'll go over what that means in a little bit, that's going to determine how quickly you want to just either beeline to the corrupted nexus, or if you want to clear all the corrupted nodes first. So keep note and keep this in mind that if you go straight to the nexus, the moment you cleanse the corruption, every single corrupted node that still remains, like these for example, all of these nodes would then become cleansed. And cleansed maps have different kinds of monsters, and there's really high drop rates for currency. They have unique bosses as well, so it's really neat. It's really a really fun thing to look at. It looks really nice. All the corruption is actually like encased in like crystalline and in gold, so it's really cool. Not only that, but then you also of course have the different monsters and a currency focus. So if you're trying to like target farm currency, then you'd want to beeline to the corrupted nexus, cleanse it, and then leave as many corrupted nodes as possible so you can clear it up. And that's what we kind of did this time. If, for example, you'd rather get more equipment kind of based farming, you're going to want to go ahead and clear all of the corrupted nodes first and the nexus at the very end. That way you don't have to worry about cleansing the maps and then increasing the drop rates for currency as opposed to gear. So anyways, what you need to do is once you actually access the map itself, you do need to use a modifier that has at least 4, or a waystone that has at least 4 modifiers or more. So in this instance, let's see. So essentially it has to be a rare modifier. But this one is kind of, they're a little juicy. And I'm still a little weak, so let's see. This one might work out. So this has 4 modifiers. This should be sufficient. And it gives us a certain number of revives as well. Remember, the more modifiers you have, the less chances you're going to have, the less portals you're going to have to attempt to clear the map. So what we're going to be doing is clearing the map and defeating all of the rare monsters, and something really special happens whenever you face off with the final rare monster in the map. So as soon as we're in, we'll be jumping in and defeating all of the rare monsters, and eventually we'll be taking on the last rare monster, which has a really unique effect to it. So and I'm still kind of just, you know, working my way through to get more powerful. So much room for improvement, honestly. But I am waiting till I can get to little higher tier maps so that I'm able to farm the right gear, get gear at the max item level, things like that. Because I don't want to keep upgrading everything. It's kind of a pain to get all res, you know, every tier of the way. So I do have lower tier armor, but it is all res at the very least. It gives me all res, so it does the job for now. These guys are so annoying. I was gonna say, where are the demons? There they are. So as you know, in these corrupted maps now, the demons have, you know, much better visuals, I would say. They're a lot more unique. They have some pretty cool looking attacks as well, and then there's different variants. As opposed to just like, we only had a handful of different types before, and now there's a lot more. That is pretty cool, and they just look better too. Alright, brother, how about you just go away? I'm gonna go up here real quick. I thought I picked it up. But all we're doing is just kind of going through, and I want to showcase exactly what happens whenever you get to the last rare. It's really, really awesome. I did it off stream to my regret. I wish I would have. How am I gonna hold off all weekend and not see that, right? For myself, that's just silly. So what I attempted to do was record it, but then my recording software was so messed up. I don't know what happened, but the settings got all changed somehow. And yeah, it was weird. It did not work out too nicely. All the footage was corrupted, no pun intended. It really was, and I couldn't use it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what a pain. What a shame, what a pain. All the things. Yeah, we're quite slow right now, as you know, from a clear perspective, but we gotta play it pretty safe because I do not want to die. We only have a few attempts to do this, so I'm gonna take it easy. Don't need to rush it. We'll be trying to cleanse as many as possible. Unfortunately, I made a really big mistake earlier this morning trying to prep the Atlas for you guys, and I wasn't paying attention. I accidentally opened up a map twice and Nexus twice, and what that did is it closed out the Nexus, actually like acting as if I failed it. So I was like, oh my gosh, because I used 2 waystones on it. I was like, is this the map now? Let me just try another one. Boom. Completely lost everything. I was like, oh my gosh. So now all I have is the corrupted map, so it's like, that's fine, I guess. I can show you guys the difference of corrupted maps versus the cleansed maps, which are really nice. Alright, we'll go kill this guy next. You're not really camouflaged now that they show your area on the map. His camouflage is totally worthless now. Poor guy. Oh, these shamblers. So. Well, I guess they're not the shamblers because they're not shambling, but the ones that spit the freaking poison. Those guys were no fun. We got some demons to handle here. We'll take these guys out. Losing my voice already. Alright, that was fun. So really the biggest thing holding me back from the damage perspective is the fact that I have not seen a Greater Jeweler's Orb yet, which is unfortunate because it's capping me at just, for the skills that I use for damage primarily, just at, you know, just the 3 gems that I can socket. So it is really slowing me down in terms of like my damage output, because if I could add a few support gems to not only the Rake, but also the spear field abilities and skills, then we'd be in much better shape. But right now I'm just kind of making do with what I have. So that is unfortunate because it's a bit of a slowdown for us from a damage perspective. Like we can't really do much more unless we get just a better spear or whatever. But I mean, that's one way, of course, but having those skill gems is going to really help us and open up our potential for more damage. But right now I don't have any Greater Jeweler's Orbs, and they're about 50x right now, so I just can't afford them. And I don't want to burn my X. I mean, like, it's just not worth it. We'll get the drops eventually. That's why I'm, you know, running a lot more rare maps as well, so we have a better chance for better loot and all that, so. We'll do the expedition at the very end. Those enemies seem to be pretty tanky. They tend to be quite tanky anyways. Obviously they have a lot of built-in resistances. Then you have the modifiers once you detonate their graves, so we'll save that for the end just because this happens to be a very good node. We'll save all the mechanics as well. This is just a Nexus, so we want to showcase the Nexus mechanic more than anything else. And we'll run back around and we'll do all the breach that will last only about 20 seconds, 15 seconds maybe, and then of course the expedition as well. Hello, friend. Oh gosh, that could have been really bad. That could have been bad. Alright, so we have... It's like 2 more, so we're going to try and just go straight for them. Murder Stalker the Rumble. He's dead. Alright, we'll get his modifier. We're going to go straight to the other rare enemy as well. I heard something. And it's a good strategy, just so you know, like if you really want to be safe, like we're going to be heading towards a new area, but you really don't have to do it that way. We could have kept him alive because we knew he was in an isolated area, and then what we would have done is we would have come back around and faced off with him at the very end after defeating the the last rare on the other side of the map. But just for the sake of ease, you could do it that way. I definitely suggest even using that strategy, because if not, I mean, it gets pretty intense. The encounter is quite intense, so it's just something you want to keep in mind. Well, we're definitely not going to make it in time to get the benefit of using this, but no worries. We'll clear what we can, and then, well, the issue is, right, you don't want to have tons of enemies and then be facing off with this unique corruption monster. It's like a really special class monster, and there's different types as well that appear, so it is an amazing thing. Such a great addition to the corruption mechanic, because honestly before, just by adding +1 level and then the coalesced fragments or whatever that is, whenever you kill enough enemies, and if they're grouped together, those fragments will summon demons. That was just kind of underwhelming. It was cool for the first few times, and eventually it just was like, oh, okay, well, nothing special to report. This might be a dead, so. Go around. We don't want to tag the breach just yet. We'll save that mechanic for the end. We need to go all the way to this bro, but we might as well just take the scenic route at this point. We're taking our time. And once we get to the last rare and defeat it, oh, you're in for a treat. Those knights can hit really hard if they do their charge attacks, so always be mindful of that. And you can move laterally, like if you're playing Huntress, it's really easy to move back in a line and create distance that way, but some attacks, a lot of the slam attacks, they go in a shockwave straight back and forth, so you want to move laterally. So if you're facing them, you want to move to the left or right, versus just moving back, because you're not going to clear the distance you need to avoid that strike. Alright, so we're going to clear out these enemies first before we take out the rare. Alright, this idiot. Like so. Straight line all the way back, right? Gotta be careful with that. Alright, here goes, guys. Once we defeat the last rare, this happens. And prepare for a battle with the Eater of Flesh. This guy is quite aggressive, so he's got a lot of crazy moves. he's got to get out of there. He's in a bad spot for us, honestly. Don't be shy, eater of flesh. There you go, belly flop. Love that. He is not wanting to move. I don't know if he's stuck on the asset or what. I have to take out these guys, honestly. Don't you dare belly flop on me. He's trying it. Ow. Direct hit, sir. Remember, just try and move laterally. This guy has a lot of long-range strikes. And once you take him out, Doriani will come, and he'll actually finish cleansing the map, which is just insane. So here he's actually doing the cleansing, and every time it's cleansed, you get a crystalline core of knowledge, which is essentially your Atlas points. So that is what happens when you cleanse a map, and that is how you cleanse a map. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to be jumping into the cleansed maps here in a moment as well, so you can see what that looks like. So we'll be skipping over that in just a moment. But first, we have the breach and the expedition to complete. So that was pretty intense. Fortunately, it's an okay time to go back, get our inventory clear, and then we'll be in good shape. But man, that was intense. The thing is, he was stuck on that little asset, so that really threw me off a bit. I was like, bro, are you gonna like do your thing or what? And what I'm doing right now is I'm cheesing the good old drop system. Just so you guys know, drops are enabled, so if you're watching on Twitch, you can certainly check that out. But
space you cleared allowed us to reclaim several important tools.
ooh,
We can now upgrade our machine.
yes please. We want all the things. All the things, please. Alright, sweet. Let me shrink down this window a bit. This particular drop for this second week is going to be pretty much like decorative gear for your Roa. So if you choose to ride a Roa, you have the ability to kind of pimp him out, so to speak. Pimp my Roa, if you will. Although that is intriguing. I just don't care. I'm not gonna have gear for every other character. I'm just not gonna do a bunch of playthroughs. I'm gonna try and keep it as concentrated and controlled as possible this go around. Not have 50 million characters. It does get a bit challenging. And I don't want to burn out either. We're gonna be using our points as well. Alright, so we'll use that in just a moment. Let's go back, and we're gonna go ahead and clear out the two mechanics, and we'll be in good shape. Anybody watching on Twitch right now, welcome guys, and also just make sure that you know that drops are enabled. So, you can get some Roa gear. Gear for your Roa. Alright, so we just cleansed the Nexus, which was awesome. I wanted to showcase that for you guys. Might as well see if there's anything else down here, and then we're going to go ahead and run back up and clear out the breach. Yeah, I don't care about those other monsters at this point. It's time for the mechanics. Breach, which will last like 10 seconds. Breaches are so nerfed. That was my favorite mechanic. And Ritual was my second favorite, as long as I had Chaos Inoculation. And man, the Breach mechanic has just been kind of gutted. It's still good, but I mean, it's just like, it's still fun, I would say, but it's not nearly as rewarding. And And I know you wouldn't notice it now, but the monster density is just really changed quite a bit too, so. Let's see, I don't have enough movement speed. When you open up the cleansed hands and stuff, you don't really get as much good stuff as before, so. You know, we didn't get anything, there's not even one breach splinter. So that's a lot different than what it was before anyways. Let's see, I know there's an expedition somewhere. Okay, I was like, don't you dare. I didn't see it on the map. That's not. Alright, where is our guy? Is it Delwyn this time? Gwennon. Let's see. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Okay with this. You know, honestly, if I could somehow... This is gonna be bad. It's gonna be oh so bad. Oh, okay, that's fine. Runic monsters, you say? Alright, let's go. Oh, this is gonna be bad. The thing is, with this Huntress, the way I've made it, like, she doesn't have like a weak... I'm just as strong at the very start as I am at the end, so there's no like buffs that I'm getting or anything like that I'm reliant on. Can I get in here, please? Thank you. Gwennon just holding it down. Oh my goodness. Who is doing that casting? Gotta get rid of whoever that is. Is it you, Mr. Druid? Oh gosh. Yep, we're getting it's getting kind of tight. Let's see. Yeah. Do you like the music? Oh my. I still have no clue who's casting that. Is it the... Oh, it's the rune caster. Oh, I'd be damned. It wasn't those plague, you know, bringer looking mofos. Oh my. There you go. Jeez. Whew. Alright, now we open up all these empty excavated chests. Just kidding. Whoa. Guardian Quarterstaff for the monk that I'll never remake. The only reason I'm not going to remake the monk is because I'm just going to essentially use the monk that I have, my legacy monk, and make him, you know, a fraction of his strength. I have got him back to where he's pretty decent, but I'm not killing bosses in 3 to 4 seconds anymore. I'm killing them in a little bit closer to like 45 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds. So you might be like, well, that's not really a big deal, but it is, because surviving for that long at that high tier with half the health that I'm used to is quite difficult. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clean up our inventory, and then what we're gonna do is use the fractured orb so I can show you guys how, what, you know, the points that I would apply to. Let's see. Why does I keep doing that? Fire and cold.
Hello.
We'll put all this up. Oh, lovely. You need to go here, sir. Where's my cursor? Okay, there. There. Alright, so once you clear the corruption or the nexus, you get this crystalline core of knowledge, and you can use it to get Atlas points. So they've changed the Atlas, as you know, and a lot of it is also geared towards like target farming. So say for example, you really like the Rogue Exiles, you can actually go and increase your chances of getting rogue exiles, and then specifically even saying, you know what, I want them to have jewelry or, you know, or armor or whatever else, weapons, and not this other item. And then you can say, you know what, I want the items to have a more of a chance to have this kind of attribute: dex, intelligence, strength. So same goes for things like the wisps. So say for example you want to have like the wisps, you can then start target farming those as well and say, you know what, I want them to be vivid spirits or wild spirits or primal spirits, right? And then you have the same option to go with the essences and say, you know what, I want the essences to have these kinds of modifiers on them. And so that's what I really like about this new way of doing things. It's really nice. The additional nodes on the Atlas are fantastic. And although the sustain at first is a little weird to get used to, but it's not so bad, because as long as you're not dying and you're defeating the last rare, you're going to get, as long as you're not dying, say, more times than the portals you have available, you kill the last rare and you're going to have another means, a waystone of that same tier, so you can sustain. If you ever want to go up a tier, you then complete a boss node, right? So obviously you guys know that, but that's just one of those things. It's just helpful whenever you're trying to, you know, again, farm certain things, or if you're trying to just, you know, figure out how to either sustain maps or increase a tier in difficulty. So, all right, so let's see, what would we like here? Increased monster packs, definitely gonna want stuff like that. Quantity of waystones isn't a terrible thing either. But monster packs is probably going to be important. I really like the rogue exiles. That's something that we're probably going to want to have as well. Not entirely sure the route I want to take to get there though. I guess we go here, here, and then here, here. That's good for now. I mean, more waystones doesn't hurt by any means. So now you can see that the map has changed and you have these like crystalline nodes as opposed to the red corruption that's all tentacly and everywhere. Now you have like this crystalline and like gold things that have like essentially contained the corruption. So if you go and you do one of these maps now, you're going to have a much better chance of getting currency. So like for example, if we go here to the springs or any one of these areas, we can just kind of pick one. Just for the sake, I'm trying to find a fun map. We could just do augury, for example, and if you click on this, right, and you actually pick it, let's say, ooh, critical hit damage, no fun. It's fine though. We'll do this one as well. We'll go ahead and look at the map, and then what happens is, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to see that there's a lot different types of enemies. All of the corrupted enemies are essentially now going to be enemies that have like, they're called fettered. So they're like way different looking, and they have different attack patterns. There's different types of them, and of course they have higher currency drop rates. So you can still get uniques, because I've actually done a cleansed map multiple times and got like 2 uniques in one map, and but you also get a higher drop rate for your currency. So we're going to be jumping into this cleansed map and just kind of showcasing, you know, what all the features it has. If, of course, the game decides to load. Lovely. I don't know why it does that. But I'm not patient enough to just be like, we'll just wait for it. No.
Sir, just one.
Uh-oh. The grinding gears aren't grinding. Another fun thing I wanted to mention is that we are going to be able to change ascendancies this week, which is really exciting. We'll have the ability to actually change ascendancies for any existing characters or any new characters. So say for example, the way you do it is really simple. You don't need any new item or anything like that. All you do is, say for example you have 2 points in your ascendancy. You'd have to complete a trial that at least awards 2 points, and that is how you'd be able to then do it. So however many points you have, that's the level of tier you need to complete, or a trial that you need to complete in order to then remove your ascendancy points and then make sure that you can actually apply the ascendancy itself. So you cannot have ascendancy points applied, so you would need to go into the trial without ascendancy points, and you could speak to any of either the Trial Master or Balbala, and that's how you'd be able to do it. And then from there, you go complete the trial, and then you can change your ascendancy. Really awesome. I'm really glad they had that so early on. I thought that was gonna be something they did at launch, but we are fortunate. All right, so guys, this is a cleansed map. We have cleansed the corruption by defeating the Nexus, and now you're gonna see all these like fettered creatures, and fettered creatures are essentially like what would have been, you know, I would say corrupted creatures, and now they're just kind of like redone. And again, they have like higher drop rates for currency, and it's just a completely different aesthetic that you get to, because now no longer do you have like the red corruption tentacles. Now you have like these crystalline structures that are like, I don't know, bleeding gold veins. It's really, really neat. I like it. It looks great. Oh gosh, it's gonna hurt. Lovely. I got to revive right there. That was really stupid. Note to self: don't do that. But you'll see how much higher the drop rates are. And again, this is a rare quality map, or rare tier, so I think it has like 4 modifiers on it. I'm gonna be careful just because I have been dying. I'm still quite squishy. I'm trying to go armor evasion, but man, I don't feel the benefits just yet of that armor. And I'm so used to having that secondary line of defense that's like a visual like sign, like you know, the energy shield, for example. You can see, you know, there's a number tied to it. You can say, oh, okay, I have this much. With the armor, I'm like, I hope I can tank this. Armor and evasion, hopefully I'm thinking, I hope I don't get hit. And then it's like, oh, well, if I do get hit, hopefully I can tank it, you know? So it's just it's a difference for me, a big difference that I have to get adjusted to. But armor and evasion, I think is gonna be fun. That'll be the route I take. If I just can't deal with it, I'll go evasion and energy shield. But I won't make that decision until I'm actually getting, you know, running like at least maybe tier 10s and above. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm not able to get to the 15s. Or I'm like, you know what, I think I could do a little better with pinnacle encounters if I had energy shield instead. But in either case, I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, you're regenerating life? That's no fun. Oops. I'm picking up all the things. So those big monsters there, the fettered monstrosities, those guys drop a lot of loot in most instances. But because I said he was going to drop loot, he dropped nothing. He dropped 30 gold. No, I'm just kidding, but those guys do have pretty decent drop rates for currency. I think I'm gonna increase the tier as well, like I'm gonna try and go tier 5s. Where are they going? I'm over here. My eyes are up here. And I was like, what? What do those guys do? Hold on, I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna refresh chat. If you guys are chatting and I haven't seen it, I'm so sorry. Alright, we got the Wispies. Come on, little guy, where are you going? Okay, good. May I pass? Ugh. Let me through, spider babies. See, I'm terrible at the wisps because I like to kill everything, and I'd prefer not to aggro every enemy on the way there. That's just me. Oh, yeah. There you go. It picked one, so now that means I can kind of take it a little easier. I really like the Ox Wisp because it's like, it reminds me of the Arbiter of Ash fight 1. You have like this like part of the whole screen that just like pretty much it's, if you were in it you're going to die, but it's like a stampede, and it kind of has the same visual effect except it's purple as the Arbiter of Ash like screen clear attack. Really awesome. You cat touched? Wait, Delwyn, why would you show up? Oh no, no, no! I didn't know there was 2 wisps. Wait, there's 2? I'm so confused. I guess, right? Maybe there was 2. Oh my gosh. Bro. Good to see you, brother. That was bizarre. Were there 2 like right now? Because Delwyn did not join me on the first part of that hunt, so I was like, that was bizarre. That's my. I hate not clearing everything. Gives me anxiety. Makes me feel like I'm missing out on all the divines. That's really funny. I was like, that one just appeared. I think that was a second wisp that I somehow activated, because if you saw, it wasn't. They weren't cat touched before. They were cat touched in the second encounter. They had like this elk that was. They had lightning abilities, like elemental abilities. The elk had elemental abilities. That was really cool though. I think we're all good there. Get these last 2 on the outside, I think. Yeah. I do love the fettered monsters. We're going to be doing some more cleansed maps. Very nice. A clean kill, but the whole floor is covered with blood. Very, very nice. Very nice. I'd hate to see a messy kill. That took a while to detonate. We got another feathered monster. It's got this crazy, crazy reach too. Oh, they're being stingy today. We go around. We still have the epic wisp music. Oh, lovely. I didn't know you were a Shroud Walker too. You blew up right in my face. Oh, I was trying to parry. Yeah, okay. So I was trying to parry that, but he struck in the opposite direction. Alright, yeah, you just die. You're awkward. Shroud Walker is kind of awkward to have whenever it's your the ability that you get from the ritual sacrifice, because it kind of propels you forward. Like you're like, oh, I'm behind all the enemies, or I'm in the middle of a giant pack of enemies now. So like if you move around a lot like I do, it can get a little disorienting. 37 gold, baby. They have proven me wrong every time. Yeah, these maps are quite fun. We'll do a handful more of the cleansed maps, and then we'll go back and do some corrupted maps. Honestly, my clear speed is so slow now, so... This is the one. You gotta make me proud. Nope. That's good enough for me, so now we can head up here. Oh my gosh. Those little writhers, or the snake worm things, will come out of those fettered monstrosities, so it's disgusting. But be careful. You're not in the clear. Oh, lovely. This is fine. Come here, hairy face, you. Where you go? Get out of here, hairy face. That's my name. Only one of us can hold that title. Alright. For the road. Get a little buff for the road, and that is a cleansed map. So we can look at the loot haul and see exactly how much we got. But yeah, I mean, we got a handful of regals and things like that. You do get a lot more currency. Much more currency than you would items.
Hello.
You just don't have anything for me, brother. Sell it. Take it all. Okay, you could disenchant. You just refused. Okay. That's fine. You disgust me. Stag talisman. I think that's new for me. We're gonna try and do some 5s. I can use that. Well, these are all rare. We could use some of these. We'll save these. We'll go for the 5s, right? I think I have probably too many 15s now as it pertains to our skill gems. Mayhaps. Yeah, we have a ton. Too many, I say. Unless it's a spirit gem, I don't want to pick it up anymore because it just gets cumbersome. I don't want to have a bunch of things I'm never going to use either, so we'll throw this over here. I think all of these are new, right? Every single one is a unique animal, so that's good. Hopefully nobody needed those. Alright, we're gonna do 5, so let's go into our stash. We're gonna go Elon's maps. I wonder what he's running these days. Ooh. Temporal change. Ugh. Wait, they do damage as fire. I don't really want to do all that right now. I'd rather be slowed. And then we can go to our currency and we're gonna juice these a little bit. Alright. Now we'll start running some 5s, and this one's gonna have a boss on it, and so is this. So Steaming Springs would be Kabbalah, that'd be the Rust Lord. Let's see. Let's try this one. I think this will be fun. I don't necessarily like the Rust Bowl map, but I do like fighting the discount Rust Lord. He's fun. Alright. Make sure you check your drops. I think this one is weird. It's only like 15 minutes or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So you go in and it's like a 15-minute long ordeal. It's not really long at all. You only have to watch for 15 minutes, which I thought was really weird considering you have to watch for 3 hours for the other, but whatever. Take advantage before they fix that. Before they nerf the drops too. Just kidding. I need to quit being so hard on this team. It's early access, guys. Whoa, I am so slow. My gosh. I'm like literally flipping it. Ooh, slow motion. I was like, what is wrong? That feels terrible. No, 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 no. I'm so slow now. No! There it is. Gosh, temporal chains are nasty. When you notice them, you know? They're certainly nasty when you notice them. Get wrecked, brother. Nope, that's a big boy attack. Can you hit me? No, not with that. Now you die. I have plenty of support gem 3s, so I don't think I need too many more of those either before I just stop picking those up. The thing I don't like about this map is you can't like go down from like an area like this. You have to go all the way around. It's just weird. Oh my. Oh my. No, my face. I can't move. And it doesn't help whenever they use their webbing to slow us down even further. Whew. Hit me again, sir. Hit me right now. Oh, God, I'm slow. All right. A big hit. I saw it coming a mile away, but I could not dodge in time. It's no matter. We'll be fine. Uh-oh. Be nice. Whoa! Okay, that's fine. Spirit gems, remember? Not skill gems, so we'll be fine. We'll leave that one to rot. Thank you, beast, but you can leave it. You can have it. We'll go this way. Boom, boom. Do 5s for a bit and we'll get some sustain on it and then we'll go 6. This isn't so bad either. I mean, again, I can't get hit even at the lower tiers. I mean, it's not really that big a deal, and our damage is fine, so we'll see what the boss is like. This is a really fun boss. I wonder if he's gonna spawn mobs. I haven't fought him recently enough where I've it's taking any more than just a few seconds, so I wonder if he'll spawn mobs. If he doesn't, he'll be super easy. I say that, right? And then watch, we're gonna die. Legends never die. There you go. There's our sustain right there. Get a handful of these. So you won't get runes dropping at lower tiers anymore. So like if I'm running a T5, I'm not gonna get T4 runes or anything. So it's good and bad, you know, like if you wanted to sell them or anything like that, you know, you really would have to like either purchase and then try and sell them for real currency, or so it's, or you just do a lot of farming when you're at the lower levels, you know. And I don't really think I'm going to be doing that. I'll probably just have a handful of 1s, 2s, and 3s. Whereas before you'd have so many. Most of the time the drop rate was like plus or minus 1 or 2 maps, you know, maybe 2 or 3, plus or minus 2, and that was the best drop rate for those. So if you're running 15s, you could certainly get 15s, but you're very likely to get like anywhere from 14, 13, even 12s. That happened more often than not. What are you shooting me with, sir? Hasted, so that'll speed me up a bit. I don't mind that at all. Get this idiot over here. Hey, buddy! Ah, my face. Oh my gosh. Proximal tangibility is funny because even if you're doing like, say, initiating a melee strike from this far, I might miss. See? Like it's not registering him. Got close and then it was fine, so. That's interesting. Melee abilities that start from further back are impacted as well. That's really neat. Didn't know that. Never really had to deal with that before. Proximal tangibility has always been an issue for, of course, ranged characters. Oh, I'm so slow. These damn chains, man. Oh, right into it. Lovely. Trying to finish this off, but even my attack speed's slowed down, so it's painful. Right, we have 3 left, and then the boss. And there's a wisp just left of us. Bro, there's a rare right next to you. Go eat him. Eat that rare. No, he doesn't want him. Why? There you go. It summoned somebody. Ooh! Boar touched. Exploding boars. Love it. Matthias Rain, how is it? I was getting lonely in here. Matthias is the Inhuman conspiracy theory. What's up, dude? Wait, was that a was that? Oh, okay. It was probably an autocorrect. Hopefully your Monday is going well. My apology for my lateness. Was talking to my mother about my life choices. Just kidding about that. Oh, I contemplate my life choices more than you know. I'm doing good, actually. More PoE too, of course. It's just kind of the game of the hour, so to speak. But no, things are good. How are you doing? How's your Monday? My weekend was fantastic. Did a lot of yard work. So man, the yard's looking real nice. We planted some, you know, different things like herbs and tomatoes and whatever else. So excited about that. The yard's looking really nice now, and weather's shaping up. Spirit gem, that's what we need to see. Get a handful more of those, and then we'll be done collecting those until we get to the 16s. How much? Oh, I have quite a bit before I level. That's unfortunate. Let's see. You over here, sir. Just funnel them into my little trap here. We have these two more enemies, and then we should have a boss as well. Deadstride? Deadstride the shuffle, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. Ow. So I ended up actually capturing or taming a beast today. And I didn't realize, I mean, I thought it was like, oh, this is gonna be great, you know, we're gonna get all the DPS and I'll be hasted and stuff. Funny enough, that little thing just, he walks and as slow as he wants. And I'm like, bro. So first off, the hasted aura doesn't help because he's so slow. He walks everywhere. And the next part of it is so funny is the fact that I was like, oh, exploding corpses would be fantastic. I think I'd like the exploding corpses. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, he's exploding all of the rares, of course, duh. And I was like, I can't do ritual sacrifice anymore. I can't take out their hearts and gain their abilities. So I was like, oh, that's not good. Oh, it wasn't an autocorrect for whoa. And here I thought I had you all figured out, Matthias. It was the first thing that popped into my head when I was saying hello. My brain's weird sometimes. Yes. FaZe Ahmed, what's going on, brother? How are you? Get out of here. Alright, so, yes. We'll go this way and defeat the last rare, and then we'll go beat the boss. But man, with this temporal change, I want to get out of this map. I feel disgustingly slow. Makes me sick to my stomach. Hope you're doing good, Matthias, and of course Ahmed. Yeah, I'm having a great day though, so far. Let's go this. Grab the gold. Ow, brother. Whoa. Oh, it's whoa, look at all the currency. Alright, you're dead. Now we go rush the boss. Oh my gosh, my back. Nope, still slow. Where's the... Oh, he's over here. This map's weird because of all those little ridges and stuff. Makes it not very fun to traverse. I like the way it looks, though. I do love the way this map looks, but... Visually striking. Visually offensive. Goes in. Oh my gosh. Told you I was gonna die. No, 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 don't do the things. Oh my gosh. Smack me. Oh, how'd he hit me? No, oh gosh. No, no. I'm running, I don't know what's happening. I hear the wind up. Key release. What's going on? How are you guys doing? Don't do it, sir. No! He whipped me so bad right there. He's dead. Ooh, I thought it was a greater. I was like, dang it. Oh no, that would have been nice. 50 enemies still remain? That's gross. Matthias says, dude, did you happen to hear that evidently the developers of Call of Duty Black Ops are evidently fortune tellers or time travelers or something? I did not know that. The rest of the comment hasn't populated yet, but I'll take a look at it as soon as it does. I did not know they were psychic. Thank you, Kirilis. How are you doing today? Thanks so much for the invite this weekend. That was awesome. That was a great map. It's so hard to type on controller because you have to manually type in everything, so thank you for being patient, because yeah, it makes communication quite slow. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on that map. That was great. So I thought you said there was, you know, you had mentioned, oh, there's gonna be a monster, and I didn't realize that you probably knew there was a map boss or some monster because it was like a nexus or something, but it was a tower, which was kind of unique. So that's why I was like, how did you know there was gonna be a unique enemy or unique boss there? Because that's what I was trying to say, like, oh, that's really cool, because I had done cleanse the nexus, and I had done a bunch of these cleansed maps, but I hadn't done a boss map yet that's not sinking spires, and certainly one that wasn't corrupted or cleansed. It was just a regular tower, so I was like, huh. But yeah, that was lots of fun. Stress, and oh no, I was supposed to be doing a job interview right now, but they canceled last minute, so it's scheduled for later tonight. Oh, don't be worried about it. That's fine. Don't worry. Just later tonight. That's weird though that they do it like I guess later this afternoon or whatever. But it's odd that they would reschedule. A lot of times though, because my wife, I mean, well, you know how this works, you know. They're trying to fill the spot, but also they have certain things they're addressing, so they're just like, oh, okay, we'll push this back a bit, but doesn't mean you're any less important, and they definitely still gain a lot from hiring you. Have you heard anything back from the other people? Hopefully. Yeah, I need to get out of this, man. I'm too. This temporal chains are absolutely making me sick to my stomach. I'm too slow. 4 p.m. their time. Oh yeah, that's no fun. I forgot about that. We need to jump in a voice chat next time. Yeah, for sure. I do have a Discord, but I never really use it, and it's just I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I'm holding out for YouTube to do their community tab thing instead, but they're upgrading the community tab and all that and making it essentially like Discord, but we'll have to see. I definitely am gonna keep my Discord, but I just don't know like how much do I want to really use it. Like I don't know. It's not a bad thing to have, but it's just another thing to manage. I know I have a few people that want to look at it though, and you know, look over it for me, but I just don't know. I'm really bad about relinquishing control too. I think especially if I'm not knowledgeable on the actual platform itself. It's like I want to know more about it before I'm just like, sure, run it, be an admin. I'm just weird about that because I want to like be able to do fun things and learn too, and it's hard to learn if you just let somebody else kind of handle it, you know. But anyways, Matthias is saying that the Call of Duty Black Ops people are fortune tellers or time travelers because back in 2012, They had a scenario in the game that predicted this predicament with China, where we're in like a technology cold war, and basically China says they don't give two caps about Trump's stupid tariffs. So there was literally... Oh yeah, no, I have seen that actually. I thought it was just a meme, but they were talking about like how there was a, like you said, like a technology cold war because of like resources and whatever. So, you know, before they were it was a lot of like the enemies, right? Long time ago, like I say long time ago, back when like FPSs were like really, I mean they're all okay. What am I saying? There were a lot of FPSs that were period pieces, and the enemies were always like Nazi Germany, right? Then it ended up becoming like, it could be like either, and then it was like Russians, then it was whatever else, and then eventually it was, you know, like everything going on with the Middle East. So it was like, oh, it's always a Middle Eastern kind of, you know, faction or whatever. And then now it's China, right? So that's interesting. That's really interesting. Kirili says, yeah, when you cleanse, if that boss will be in the map, it'll show on the node. Huh. If that boss will be in the map, it shows? Interesting. Because I've only ever seen, when I cleanse a Nexus, I get like the Eater of Flesh corruption boss. We fought like some weird mage guy. And I don't know, like, would he have a map boss icon on the tower? Because, I don't know, that was cool. Whatever it was awesome. The scenario predicted it happened in 2025. What? Matthias, that's insane. It's the Illuminati, brother. They're predicting it. They're pulling the strings behind the system. It's 4 p.m. their time. They're in California. Yep, read that. Nothing from the others. No, okay. You know that there's been, like, at least whenever I was looking for a job however many years ago, there were like levels of interviews. I got nothing. I like you know how like I heard like on social media, it's like, yeah, they, you know, they do it, they get you in for interview 1, interview 2 and whatever, and then you never hear from them again. And I was like, well, I never experienced that because I never got any interviews. I never got any interviews. Colby, what's up, brother? The Colby's like my bloodborne bro, dude. Like, you know what we need to do, Colby? We need to do more. We need to do more Bloodborne co-op. I have another co-op file right now, actually. So we definitely need to do that. You know what? So for the goal of the chat, the super chat goal was to do a co-op session for PoE. But honestly, because I'm not even powered enough to like carry anybody or anything like that, we'll change it. So I'll write it right now. Goal is for Bloodborne co-op session. Colby is that dude. He got me through a lot the first time in the first time we were doing Bloodborne, because I hadn't played in, it was years. It was so many years, and he was doing a whole bunch, killing bosses for me, carrying, naturally, just carrying me. But Colby, I hope you're doing great, my friend. Oh, Reliable says, what is up, bro? Oh, nothing. How are you doing? Just enjoying my Monday. Kiri Lee says, it says map contains the immured one. Oh, whoa, that's so cool. That is awesome. You know, Kiri Lee, I was trying to record that entire encounter, but my footage was corrupted, so it's been like that for a handful of days, and I fixed it last night, and it was really annoying. Colby says, I heard the Bloodborne servers are getting shut down. Colby, please don't. Please don't. Oh, is this a rumor? Is this founded in any science, or is this fear-mongering? Because if the Bloodborne servers are down, we need to run the Cum Dungeon, like, immediately and beat it, because that was one of my goals in life. Kiri Lee says, I've done interviews that had 4 stages and been ghosts at the end, or it'll go for more than a week after the interview, and when they say, we decided to move on with another candidate. Yeah. I would just get, like, nothing. It would get crickets, or I'd submit, and then be like, denied. I'm like, okay, am I just that awesome and expensive that they're like, we can't handle you, the Inhuman one. It's too much. At least that's what I told myself.
Yes.
I was like, wow, I am that amazing that they can't handle me. So let's see, Cole, ooh, Snaky. Wow, my gosh. Triple res helmet? Damn. That's sexy. I don't even know if I want to sell that. Like when they're that good, like do you sell that? I don't know, I could. I certainly could. Okay, this is a 6. There you go. And we just talked about 6s. Am I running these last 5s though? Yes. We have, oh, balls. What was that? Oh, balls. Okay, so 5, 5. We'll throw that in there. We'll keep this on hand. Throw that. And I have too many. I keep too many. I'm a hoarder, and it makes it like so, and I have so many things. I'm sick. I have a condition. I like to collect all items. Wait. And you. I'm keeping these because maybe we'll be able to chance them, you know? Who knows? Mayhaps, mayhaps not. I don't know. Three to 1. And then tablets. Alright, let me catch up on chat. Jeez. Colby says, I saw something on it, but nothing substantial, so don't take it to heart. I hope it's just a stupid content creator lying, because I will be so sad, Colby. Please. Please don't be true. I love that game. That game is, I mean, you see my main channel, it's themed around Bloodborne. It's literally like the icon, all that's inspired by, so to speak. Oh, there's another node, yeah. Oh, that's the one I screwed up. So guys, I literally was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this Nexus right here. And I was like, oh, it was right here. And I was like, did I just use a map on it or waystone on it? Let me just go ahead and use this waystone, and it completely erased the Nexus mechanic. So yeah. That was fun. Alright, we're gonna do this one, Steaming Springs. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Okay, that's fine. We're doing that. Kira Lee says, I hope I get this one, but it sucks because it's a W2 contract with 0 benefits. Oh, well, that's fine. Why is it W2 contract instead of 1099? I hope you get it too. Well, I hope you get whatever you're looking for and what's gonna be best for you and your family. That's what I care about. What level are you? I'm like level 75, but I can only run like, I'm running like 5s right now, and I'm gonna do 6s next, and I'm taking it really slow. Kira Lisa is a jewelry hoarder, just like me. Matthias says, you said it's the Illuminati. Well, it sounds like the Illuminati. They've been Illuminati. I like it. Wordplay. Matthias, you're a wordsmith, man. Love it. Love it. Colby says, it just made sense to me with the success of Elden Ring, Night Ring, and Nintendo on the horizon, but I probably got baited. I hope so. And not because I hope that you got tricked, but I just can't accept that as a truth. I'm like, come on, man. If they remove the that's gonna piss me off. But what I would do is I would just Bloodborne it up and do a lot of co-op, and of course beat the cum dungeon. You know, there's things we must do as hunters. As hunters, we're obligated to hunt. And if they're gonna take that away from us, I die. Okay, if they're gonna take that away from us, that's sad. How does your how is your AOE that big, sir? You work out? Elden Ring Night Rain. Is the game even out yet? I will not play Elden Ring Night Rain. I did the beta and it was fine, and I kicked ass, and I died really bad actually multiple times on stream, of course, but then off stream I was just dominating, you know, this is what I do. But it was really bad. I was like, ugh. I was like, I played ugly. But I ended up beating the boss. It was just 2 of us too. And so the third person like either disconnected or dropped out, and we ended up going all the way through like I don't know how many sessions, and then not sessions but like day periods or whatever, and then we fought the boss. I think the 3rd day. It was awesome. It was like this Ninetales looking guy, like Vulpix on steroids. You know, as Colby, as hard as that is to accept, you know, I think that whenever you have to back up, whenever you're releasing something and then you're saying, no, we still have this in mind, like, your marketing's, you know, your vision is lost. You know, you're starting to lose vision, your vision of what you stand for, because they have released all of these kind of multiplayer focused games, and I get why, you know, but at the same time, the experiences they're kind of cheapened. They're just not as good. You saw Elden Ring, Night Ring. I don't know if you have, but the quality, and even when it comes down to the animations, even the visuals are just not there, you know. So it's really odd. But Colby specifically said, not gonna lie, I think FromSoft is kind of fallen off, at least from my perspective, with Night Ring and the $80 Nintendo exclusives. Yeah, it's not even the price point really to me that bothers me. I mean, because everything's gonna be more expensive as our lives go on. Everything's just gonna always be more expensive, and we're always gonna have to try and find a way to outpace the cost of things, especially things we enjoy. But I don't like that at all. I just a truth I've accepted. Yeah, of course it's gonna be expensive, and yes, the Nintendo Switch is $500, but every other console right now is $500 anyways, right? But it's one of those things like, I'm not worried about that. It does suck. I do not like it at all. There's honestly no real need other than they're just gonna increase their profit margin, you know. But so I don't like that. But it is one of those things where it's like, well, whatever. It's not like I'm not gonna get them. Like, oh, it's $80 instead of $79.99 or whatever, instead of $69.99 or whatever. But the thing is, can you imagine all those games that have like DLC and stuff now? Now they're gonna be like $100. So they already are. So it's like, and now it's gonna be even more. Just for the digital deluxe edition will be $90. And then like the ultra super version, well, they always charge hundreds of dollars for those. So I don't like that. I think it's really a ripoff and a scam. But it comes out next month. Okay. Yeah, I won't be playing that. I'll be playing Lost Soul Aside though. It's like Stellar Blade, but with a dude. But he has clothes on at least. So that'll be cool. I am gonna play that game. I wanted to play Clair Obscur. I might just feature it. Like, you know, there's just a lot of games that, like, I do want to play, but I don't necessarily want to play them to completion. You know, like, if I do, I'll do it all. I don't know. They're just like, I don't necessarily want to be obligated. Like, oh, I started this game, I gotta beat it. I'm like, I don't really want to. There's certain games I'm like, let me just try them out. But some you're just like, yeah, okay, that was cool. I like what they're doing, but I don't want to spend 40 hours on it, you know? And then 40 hours over the course of streams, that's like weeks. Because I only stream 3 hours at a time, so that becomes a whole month. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be playing Night Ring. I wasn't really a big fan of it, honestly. Definitely saw what they're trying to do with it, but they didn't do anything particularly well. They didn't even do the Souls-like part of it too well, much less the roguelike part of it and all that. So I was like, I'm not impressed. But all the you get all the content creators are gonna be salivating over it and making all, this is the best game ever or whatever. And the next month, get ready for those stupid thumbnails. I'm just like, ugh. I'm not. I don't think I'll be playing Elden Ring anymore either. I did get the platinum, which is something I don't normally do, but I got it on stream. I just thought it'd be fun. That was years in the making. I had done everything except beat the game normally. That was funny. So I was like, yeah, we can do that. Colby says, yeah, I was avidly against the $70 price tag until this year. Monster Hunter is the only $70 game I've purchased. Yeah. Man, I remember, you know, $59, and then people were freaking out about $60, and then it just kept going up and up. And it's one of those things where it's like, somehow they're like, yeah, it's a new console generation. Let's just increase the price of the games as well. I don't know. It's a scummy little practice, but Joker 69 says Night Rain and Duskblood would turn up bad after a month. From Software are not known for best multiplayer ports. Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. You know, obviously, even in this test, it was a test after all, but there was a lot of stability issues, disconnections, and they didn't have like safeguards to put you back in the same session. You would just lose all your progress. So a lot of things like that I hope that they fix, but I won't be playing that game though. I mean, I played the demo, got my, it's just not particularly good. But yeah, I don't like that direction, the multiplayer direction that FromSoft is going. Like, with Dusk Bloods and whatever else. It's only going to be Nintendo exclusive for a period of time. It will eventually come to consoles, but and then of course it has all this heavy Bloodborne inspiration, so you're gonna, even I'm interested in that just for that reason alone. But if it has too much of an emphasis, or where the multiplayer is like required, then I will not buy that game either. It's just one of those things where I'm just not gonna play a game just because it's in the same like genre or what. I just don't care. I'll play games that I want to play and that I enjoy playing, not because it's like, oh, this is just like Bloodborne but it's called, you know, something different. I'm not gonna play it just because. And especially if it has multiplayer forced on it, if it's required multiplayer, then yeah, I'm not gonna play it. I'll do the demo or whatever, but I will not no life it like I did Bloodborne. And that's the difference, like, of me as a content creator. Like, sure, that'll get me views, and sure, that'll make sure I'm paid, but it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to... Being my own boss is supposed to be fun, right? So if I have to do what everybody else is doing and things I don't want to do, then might as well be back in the desk. And I just don't want to do that either. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to make sacrifices when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not going to do all of that content, because I'm honestly not really a big fan of those multiplayer type games. So I mostly just make a wish list of a game that I am interested in as the year goes on and wait for sales. Indeed, that's very smart. Content creators, what's the term for it? Gatekeeping? The only way it stops it is if people stop buying. Exactly, and they won't, because they don't want to like wait long enough or like disrupt the system. They're like, no, I want it now, because they're playing on our psychology. It's like, yeah, people are gonna moan about it, but they're definitely, or complain about it, but they're certainly going to then get it anyways, you know. So they know that our desire is stronger than our ability to say no and resist the temptation. So it's just clever marketing, and it's just a way to guarantee higher profit margins, you know. True facts, Cisco. Yeah, that's facts all day. Joker says, Clear Obscure looks amazing and waiting to see if Crimson Desert turns out to be good. Yeah, Crimson Desert I will play as well. I'll definitely play that as well. Crimson Desert, Lost Soul Aside, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Where Winds Meet. Those are all games I'm pretty interested in. Clear Obscure, I do believe, is a Game Pass day one kind of game, so that means it's free. As far as I try and trick myself, right, to say it's free even though I'm paying monthly for it. But that's a way for me to get that game day one and play it without going full price on it, you know. So that's something that I do want to check out and feature on the channel. But I may or may not beat the whole game. Like I was saying, like I don't necessarily want to just because I play the game be like, okay, I have to beat it now. Like if I don't really, if I'm not committed to it, like I don't want to waste that time. But I would like to try it out. The thing is, I'm not really big on turn-based combat. Unless, of course, we're playing Super Mario RPG. Which is like my first turn-based combat game. But yeah, Duskblade is just a copy of a game called The Hunt. Same element, but Bloodborne face. Oh, okay, I see. Very interesting, Joker. Colby says, I'll be waiting with bated breath on that Liza P DLC, though. I'd pay $90 for that. You know, I forgot all about that. That's supposed to come out summer of this year, so whatever the hell summer means. I'm thinking June or July. I will be playing that, and I will be doing a 100% guide for that, so don't you worry, guys. I will stop everything I'm doing for that game because it's a big game for me, and it's important for it's a very important milestone for my channel as well. So it's just one of those things that it's just nice to look back on, and I do want to feature it, and I want to still be the guy that's like known for the lore on that and stuff, and the guides for it. So I love that. That's just a great game to have kind of be associated with from a creation standpoint. So I like that. Oh my gosh, go away. Inhuman, you are not your cubicle and you don't need your stapler. I want my stapler, the red stapler. I'm playing Dante's Inferno right now. Brings back good memories on that game. Dante's Inferno was fantastic. I played it and beat it at... There was a point in my life when I was like playing every game at the hardest difficulty because for a period I was just playing games like just, you know, not as frequently and a little bit more casually. And there's a part of me that's like, no, I must, you know, try to, you know, get better and challenge myself. And pretty much ever since then, I've always been like, I want to play. I need a challenge. I need a challenge. And Dante's Inferno was one of the first games that I did at the highest difficulty. And that was fun because it reminded me of back when I had beaten God of War years and years ago, doing the challenge. And remember, when you beat God of War in God of War mode, you got to see like teasers that he had a brother and all that stuff. Colby, thank you so much. You are amazing. Colby says, well, I got to go to the dentist. Good looking human. Happy I got to catch you again, even for a bit. Of course, man. Thank you so much, Colby. You're too kind, bro. We need to make sure we do another co-op session for sure. And you are invited, of course, Colby. Thank you so much, man. Take care. Have a great dentist appointment. I need to go to the dentist now. I had to reschedule my appointment because all this crazy news that was coming up, but I need to do that. Yeah. Colby, take care. Thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate that. Matthias says Tides of Annihilation. Yes, yes. It looks pretty awesome, but that game's coming out next year. I can't wait to be able to pre-order Chronos: The New Dawn. So you and I have very similar tastes, and you are much more committed and consistent with beating games to completion. Sometimes I have to like bounce back and forth between like, okay, do I have to stream this game? Do I play this personally, or what do I do, right? It's really hard to keep a game for sure. Colby says for sure. Bye, guys. Take care, Colby. Be safe, man. But yes, those games are awesome. Matthias will always be able to like remind me of these amazing games. And I'm like, yep, I'm very interested in that. Matthias says I haven't played Dante's Inferno since the army. Oh, nice. You know, so like I was saying, in that really hard mode, you pretty much die in like 1 to 2 hits. And you would pretty much have to then learn the movesets, audio cues, visual cues for every single character. And it was amazing because you were pretty much parrying everything. And it was just fun. It was so much fun. It reminded me of the God of War difficulty, of course. And that was an excellent playthrough. And the reward was just something that you just never got at the time. Like you literally got a teaser for the sequel and things had planned storyboard wise. It was amazing. Very cinematic reward too. Something that you'll just never forget. But that was just good memories. Unfortunately, that particular PlayStation 2, the memory cards and all of my consoles up to that point and onward were to be taken from me at some point in the future. So I had to restart my whole collection, and it sucks because I you know, all those things are gone now. But it's right here. It's where it counts. Colby, man, thank you so much. That was so kind. Praise the tipsters. Oh, you know what? We should. My wife. I can have her design. She likes doing this. She's designed all my emojis and my channel art. But anyways, I could have her do like a funny one, like yeah, praise the tipster. That's such a great idea because I already have Solaire. That is such a good idea, Matthias. Praise the tipster. That was it? I thought there was a boss. Yeah, defeat Manasa, the serpent. Whoa! Oh my, oh my. But anyways, the other game that so at that particular time I was playing like hard games. Dante's Inferno was so great. Absolutely loved it. And I ended up playing Catherine's Body, I think is what it's called. Is it Catherine's Body or Catherine? I'm thinking maybe Jennifer's Body is the movie and then Catherine is the game, right? But Catherine, I think is what the game is called. It was like a really, it was so awesome. But it was like a more puzzle based, and I was playing that at the hardest difficulty. Now, I did not beat that one because it was that same year that I ended up starting my channel for the first time. So I like stopped a lot of those like personal projects and was like, okay, whatever. So that would be cool to revisit Catherine on the highest difficulty. But that game was cool, and I always wanted to know like what was going on with the story. I wanted to figure it out. So Matthias says, thanks, you're welcome. Yes, Matthias, you're good. Scary good. Too good. Well, yeah, I was like, why is that happening? Ah. Dodge. There you go. Get wrecked. She doesn't talk nearly as much trash as her brethren. Oh my gosh, this is too much. That was scary. We knocked the mess out of her right there, ow. Ugh. Get wrecked. Is she saying chicken? Chicken! I think that's what she's saying. Get wrecked. Yeah, she's saying chicken. Oh, balls. Balls! We got right over the fence. Haha! We win. Exalt, baby. I'll take all of the yellow stuff. Yes, thank you. You can keep that. Let's get out of here. Let's get the flock out of here. The flock, right? Like, flock of sheep. Flock of seagulls.
I like it. It's quiet like.
It's quiet like. It's real quiet like. Has anybody seen the first episode to The Last of Us Season 2? I did not watch it yet. I haven't watched it yet. Plan on watching it at some point. Sooner than later. Wait, why is this here? Fire and light. Oh. That's sellable. Okay, we're gonna start running 6s now. Scary. We can do this 5, I guess, first. That goes in there, that goes in there. Oh wow, that's not bad. 16 to elemental, all elemental resistances. I am a hoarder of things. We'll drop these off in my 3-to-1. We gotta reforge them or something. I need a rune tab, GGG. Can we do a rune tab? I would pay premium cash. Matthias says, that's actually where I got that from. Solaire and his whole praise the sun thing gesture, whatever. So yeah, great minds think alike. Indeed. I noticed the genius behind it. As soon as I saw it. That would break these two. Balls. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Kira says, ooh, found my first unique map. Nice. On my existing or legacy character, there's plenty of unique maps, and they are really, really fun. Flock of seagulls, and I ran so far away. Gotta get away. I told my wife we need to add HBO Max just so we could watch season 2 of Last of Us. Then cancel. Yeah, do like the... Oh wait, so just wait until all of the episodes are out, which will be like, it's probably one episode for each week for 6 to 8 weeks. Then you go on a trial for HBO, or what they call Max now, because that's what all the cool kids say. And then you can just be like, yeah, and binge watch it and then be done. You know, I want to do that for, oh my gosh. No. This is gonna be hard because I've never fought. There's a. No, there's not a boss. Okay. Because I know in the interview they showcase this area has 2 bosses. It's like 2 witches competing for the, I don't know what they're competing for. The Necronomicon or something. But anyways, I wanted to do that same technique for this show called From. And From was just a great show. Gosh, it was good. I just don't. It reminded me of Lost. I don't want to like share it too much, but oh, a fracturing orb! Give it to me, baby. I got a fracturing orb. I'm just gonna call it fractured orb because I like past tense. That was awesome. Told you those. I told you guys. Those creatures drop more currency, and you're likely to get not only more currency drops, but also things like fracturing orbs, which you can only get from these cleansed maps. But yeah, From is essentially like Lost, but bloodier and they cuss. Which, I love that. Every day I love that. Oh my. Foul Jaws, get out of here. Foul Jowls. That rhymes! Oh, son of a mother, I'm dead. I couldn't get out of there. Ooh, what do I do? Focus. I am, well, you know, okay. I always appreciate that as a compliment, as kind gesture. But I don't like the concept of luck. I was like raised to believe that luck was like a, well, first off, I don't like luck because I don't like chance and stuff. Like, I know there's things are just things, you know, like things just happen or whatever. But when it comes to luck, I was always taught that luck was for those without skill, because I remember the first time I ever heard about luck and whatever, I was really young, and they're like, oh man, oh my gosh, luck this, luck that, and then they'd say luck is luck favors the prepared. And I was like, I always thought that was really cool. I was like, oh yeah, because, you know, if you say, for example, if you train more and you do a certain thing, like, you're more likely to pull it off in like a tough situation. And so I was like, luck favors the prepared. That was like kind of like my little motto as a child, right? And I was like, ooh, stuff. And anyways, then as I got older, like, I was like, yeah, I'd always embrace that whole luck thing. And then before long, let me see if this guy's actually gonna come. I was taught that luck was for those without skill. That's kind of, and I like that, because I was like, oh, you have to rely on chance if, you know, you're like not, if you're not skilled, if you're not prepared enough, and you haven't done this and that. And I don't like that. I don't like to leave things up to chance. So it was one of those things where I'd always try and like, okay, be prepared enough, be whatever, skilled enough to avoid that reliance on chance, something that's so unpredictable. But anyways, long story short, I know I rambled and that's my whole life story and whatever, but I like that. I do like to not rely on something like that. This is cool. This is the first whatever mercenary I've ever seen. But anyways, it never offends me. I was telling you something about myself. Hope you enjoy it, brother. Bye. Enjoy the gifts. But yeah, that's just my my perspective on it. Certainly doesn't mean it's the only one or the right one even. But I do live by that kind of motto or creed. Wow, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Kirillese, look at this black sun crest wrapped great helm. Look at this. That's almost maxed. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Matthias says, even though I already know what's going to happen in Season 2, first because I already had and beat the game. Dude, my mom got me the collector's edition of that game and it pissed me off so much I sold it to a pawn shop with no regrets. Oh, that's funny. Luck favors the prepared and fortune favors the bold. That's interesting. I love that. I like the saying, and I do appreciate it. It's just not what I live by. I do like it though. Inhuman is lucky number 11. He only bets on a shirt thing. That's right. Oh my, you know how much I love that movie, right? That is one of my favorite movies ever. Lucky number 11 is, it's so good. Same goes for, I like Face Off as well. Those are like some of my favorite movies ever. Okay, we can't die. We can't die. We can't die. But Kirillese, I was just trying to, I was just sharing, like Matthias and all the other, like the regulars, they know like my whole, they know a lot of my ideals and beliefs in my rough childhood. Just kidding. I was just telling you that because I was like, oh yeah, I always say, I'm like, well thanks, because I know it's a nice gesture. But it's just funny because obviously I think differently. So it's just like, oh yeah. Even Matthias says it all. Matthias says good luck all the time to me. And I'm like, Matthias, remember, I said luck for that. He's like, yep, good luck. I'm like, you're telling me I lack skill. Just kidding. That's the funny thing, right? Just kidding. Why are there so many of you guys? Better the monster, come here. Actually, I just need to kill everybody that's around here. Thank you. Cannot get stunned or whatever happened. That big guy just completely mushed my brains with his hammer. That black hole sun crest wrap thing is almost perfect roll. That's insane. Stacking's back, baby. Okay, so you go this way. We just have to actually activate the beacon. So hold on. Let me see. I gotta I have to pause because if not, I'll die. I mean, all you guys are typing paragraphs right now. Joker says, kind of feels awkward. Nintendo tells us they will launch a new game, but not with the console, but a year after. So buy it and don't see any gameplay. Kind of feels strange. Which game is that? Joker. Kira Lee says, one of my favorite software engineers gave a talk called Lucky You, and I tend to agree with her standpoint on things. Oh, cool. Is it like a TED talk or something, or? Lucky You. Now, I do believe this, though. Like, so there's power in words, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know this from the good book. It talks about how there's the power of life and death is in the tongue. Obviously, because you can say things that can impact someone else's life, but also because since we were made in God's image or whatnot, whenever he speaks, things happen, come into reality, come into existence, whatever. But we're made in his image, so we're not all powerful or anything like that at all. But when you say things, it's meaningful, it's impactful. So if you speak positively and you don't constantly, speak negatively and have all these, your perspective on things is powerful, right? Because your mind's powerful. So if you speak positive things and you're kind and you speak with love and all that, that's going to be much more powerful than if you're just negative and whatever else. And it can impact you even from a health perspective. So I do like that, and I think that there's a lot of power in words. But yeah, I just don't like luck necessarily because it's like a chance thing. I feel like there's a lot of things that are we kind of we kind of mystify a little more, and it's like, no, it's just sometimes the answers are there. We just don't want to accept them because they're just too simple, too easy. But anyways, Matthias says, wow, I didn't know that. That's so weird. I referenced that movie to you then. That's one of my favorite movies as well. Josh Hartnett was crazy in Trap. Ooh, I like Josh Hartnett in that movie. Man, I didn't realize M. Night Shyamalan's his daughter is so beautiful. She's so beautiful. And I didn't know she's actually like talented in terms of like music and all that. I thought that was just like her character. I did not realize that's what she was doing. It was really cool. Oh, Duskblood. That is true. I didn't even think about that, Joker. Duskblood is coming out. It's coming out way late. And it's a console exclusive that they're mentioning way. Yeah, that is kind of bizarre. It's a talk for a Ruby on Rails conference. Okay. No, I'm not familiar with what that is, actually. Enlighten me, please. Joker says, I think we create plenty if we believe in getting plenty. Yeah, essentially it's about that positivity and that power of just having faith and being positive, staying positive despite things, in spite of whatever negative things are happening, and then speaking positive things, But if you can do the same exact thing from a negative perspective, then you'll certainly see those effects too. So there is power in words. That's why they call it spells. Spelling. But it's not because of that, but there literally is power in what you say, right? And power in names and stuff too, even. Names mean something. That's why I'm like, man, I want a cooler name, man. I will not reveal my name. There's no super chat goal worth revealing my secret identity. Duskbloods, man, I don't know. I really want to like it, and I really hope that it goes it gets out of the Nintendo exclusive realm pretty quick, because it is a time limited exclusive actually, based on some of the paperwork we saw for it. But I hope that it's not required multiplayer, which it probably will be. I'm like, I don't know. This direction's kind of odd and concerning to me. Ruby is a programming language, the one I know best. Rails as a framework, think toolkit for doing web development. Oh, I like that then. And I like the naming conventions too. Oh my. Thank you for sharing that, Kirlis. Always love learning about new things. Can y'all let me through? This is like a 50-minute tower. Brother, like, let me through. I'm coming in. People are saying Dustblood looks similar to Hunter's Arena. I'll need to look it up. I remember you saying that, and I'm interested to see kind of what that is. It's probably, I don't know if it's one of their older games or just a game that had similar premise, and then they just smacked on the Bloodborne skin and said it's a new game, you know. But there's hardly ever unique ideas these days. Hardly unique thoughts in this day and age, sadly. Instead, it's all about reboots and remasters and remakes, but never anything quite new. If you do get something new, it's usually quite a treat, and definitely a rarity. People are afraid to take risks now, like to hoard their cash. And just be like, yeah, let's just use a name. They'd rather get licensing for something and be like, let's make a terrible game, than with a brand new idea, taking a risk. Can't wait till I'm YouTube rich. I'm gonna make my video games, and I don't know if you guys will like them, but I certainly will. I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna take a risk. So I need to get YouTube rich. You know, I was thinking about a few things, actually. And one of the things I wanted to mention was there was the stream that got disconnected. We had a super chat goal, and Shayla like single-handedly met whatever that super chat goal was, and the stream ended before I was able to do the reveal. So you know, that was something that I never so I went on message her on Ko-fi or whatever, and I was like, hey, like, I noticed that you did this, and I was like, I couldn't get back on. I don't know what happened, but like my PlayStation or the power went off or something, and it just disconnected when I was playing Kazan. And anyways, I completely forgot about that, and I was gonna share the reveal with you guys. But the long story short of it is that I'll be having a kind of like reviews and reactions channel that's gonna be launching. That'll be covering all kinds of things, because I get a lot of things from like dev companies and things like that, like gifts I get, you know, and whatever else. So also, like, I have very strong opinions on certain things, like in gaming wise and whatever, and some of the controversy I just don't care about, some of it I do, and I would love to be able to share that with you guys. So I will be launching a reactions and review channel where and unboxing, all that stuff, where it's just, you know, it's more about just us talking and doing whatever else and witnessing things for the first time and seeing the reactions. And it's so funny because Matthias in particular will ask, he's always like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And it never bothers me. I'm just saying he asks that often. And, you know, the more I thought about that, I was like, maybe it would be a good place for me to put those thoughts, as opposed to just sometimes like kind of half-assing it and being like, I could actually have something dedicated to that thought and be like, oh, well, I have seen the trailer and this is what I thought about it, you know? Versus like being like, you know, I'll have to take a look at it and then I have like a few sentences on it. I'd rather give a more in-depth kind of reaction and review on my thoughts on what I'm thinking about it and what it could mean. If I have any expertise on it, you know, I could always kind of like add a little bit of color. But anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. And it'll be launching hopefully after May, because May is the month of, like, it's my birthday month, and my wife and I share a birthday month, and we'll probably be out and about. So I don't want to start a reaction channel when I'm not be present or able to make content, because I will not be totally available, because obviously my birthday I don't really care for much. It's fine. It's not a big deal for me, but I do care about being present for my wife. So I'm like, I gotta be available. But anyway, super exciting news, and it's really awesome because it was pretty much inspired by you guys, because you always seem to be interested in what I'm thinking about and all that, and it's really fun to be able to discuss these things and our shared interests together. So definitely something I'm looking forward to. So we'll be doing a reaction review channel, and it'll be taking place on my 3rd channel as I'm finishing rebranding that, and we'll be launching a bunch of content. So whenever that time comes, a lot of the content will already be released, so you can just kind of binge watch a bunch of it, but then everything will from that point forward pretty much be like live. So like you'll see reactions to current events and things like that, and gaming, and some things show wise, so some anime, some shows, and gaming. So that'll be like the major thing. Also there'll be like some food element to it as well. So anyways, just wanted to let you guys know that. People are saying Duskblood similar to Hunter's Arena. There are 2 games, the Hunt and Hunter's Arena. Both are similar to Duskblood. Okay, interesting. True new story are very rare. Kazan is I can't wait to actually finish it, because I was doing a fist only challenge run on it, so I got past Viper, and then the game crashed and I hadn't been able to revisit it since. Not because the game ran, it's just because then Path of Exile's 2 new content came out, so I had to focus on that. So Matthias says, cool, I look forward to that channel launch then. Nice. Yeah, so that's gonna be exciting. I feel like that will be a perfect place to be able to see all those trailers too. And a lot of the times I'm like, the funny thing is that a lot of times, like, I always contemplate, should I do a trailer analysis, because I'm so used to doing that on my gaming channel, oh, not my gaming channel, my lore channel. And I was like, you know, like, more often than not, when I watch these trailers, I do record. I don't record myself, but I do record the content, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm writing notes down. I'm like, all I have to do is have the camera on, and that would be something that I could just share with you guys. Like, this is what I thought about this. So I don't know, it's just fun. You know, Matthias, I'm going to tell you a funny thing. Whenever people put the ellipsis or whatever, like the 3 dots, like I always feel like I'm like, I don't know. It always makes me like, did I do something wrong? I always feel like the person's mad, or like, I don't know why. Like, isn't that funny? Like when you put the ... I'm like, oh, like I'm in trouble. I don't know why. But I always, I'm always like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. This map, my gosh. 30 minutes per map. I just don't want to die though, either. So glad we have the fracturing orb. Not that I'll probably hoard those up, but you know what would be a damn shame is if you have this Gosh tier item, and then it has light radiance on it, and it fractures light radiance as opposed to any of those other Gosh tier skills. But yeah, so it'll be reactions, reviews, unboxings, I mean, and it'll be reactions and reviews for all things gaming that I'm interested in. As opposed, I mean, in addition to, you know, things like some of the shows, like for example, if I had this channel when Solo Leveling was premiering, or Last of Us Season 2 was on, then I would definitely be covering those. But because I'll be mid-swing, I don't want to do something like that. I wanted to cover something fresh or from the start, and there would have been some things retro that I do, so. Be really fun. Matthias says, I use the 3 dots to separate my sentences or thoughts, even though one period would probably suffice. You're just thinking, you're just overthinking it, right? You're just like, I always get so, you know why? I think I remember why. It's because like whenever texting was kind of new, like if I ever texted my parents, I'd be like, hey, I'm just gonna do this, and be like, okay, ... I'm like, wait, what? Like, what am I doing? Like, they don't trust me or something. So it was like a weird thing. I just like, because that's not what ellipsis means. Ellipsis literally is, like you said, it's like, it stops because there's a continuation or something to come, right? But in like, you know, texts, or if you're like, and when you communicate or whatever, like a ... that's kind of like it's almost like a suspicious, like, And that's what I was conditioned for, like that, for it to mean that to me, anyways. I'd always be like, I promise, I'm just at the mall. I promise. But yeah, trauma. Childhood traumas. Just kidding. T6. Okay, so I think we juicify this one. And we joycify. It's successful. It's a good one. That's not good. It's gonna make it hard. So we're slow and we're weak. Yes. Of course. Yeah, I'm just gonna sell this. Okay, it's not going. Where's my Elon's maps? There you go. Is that a 6? Yeah. I'm forgetting how to calculate Roman numerals. There's very... Oh, I was gonna say something cool. I had... Like, when I was younger, we had to do, like, this crazy stuff that I think was preparing us for, like, Illuminati stuff. But, there was... So there was a period of time where we got pulled aside and they taught us how to calculate basic equations, addition and subtraction, using the Maya numerical system, Roman numerals, and Egyptian hieroglyphics, like the numbers. And this just that was the one I remember the least. But the Mayan system was amazing because it made the most sense visually. Like, say you add numbers in like our, I don't even know what you'd call it, but our normal numerical system, 0 through 9, that, you know, if you add a 1 and a 4, you get a 5. But like the 1 and a 4 don't necessarily like make 5 in terms of like the character that you draw. So anyways, Mayan math actually makes sense. Like, so if it's like 2 and then 3, like it actually ends up being like 5 little dots. You can be like, hey, there's 5. Not only that, but they also invented 0, by the way. But Roman numericals and math was pretty interesting as well, because depending on the place of the number, if it was less or higher. So like, for example, I know you guys probably know this because you guys know how to do it, but I don't care because I want to show stuff. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 5. But if you put a 1 before the 5, you subtract. So it's essentially 5 minus 1. So if the smaller digit precedes the larger digit, that's subtraction. But if it follows it, then it's addition. So you have the V, which is 5. But if you have VI, which I know it's not V and I, but I'm just saying, you have 5 and 1, that's 6 because you're adding it. It's in that order, so it's adding it because it's following the larger number. But if the smaller number precedes the larger number, you're subtracting. So it's IV. I know it's not IV, but 1, 5. That's 4. So, anyways, whatever. I just thought that was cool. I just wanted to share. Let's see. Let's do this one next. Ooh, this one's gonna be nasty. Ugh. Yeah. What's his nuts? His name is Crowbell. He's mean. I have 3 attempts for this? I'll take it. I'll take it. Why do I keep wavering? I keep vacillating between left and right. Oh my gosh, these guys hit really hard. Fettered spider, oh my gosh, no. I'm enfeebled, I'm not temporal chained, so that's fine. I'd rather be fast than... I'd rather be fast and weak than strong and slow, you know what I'm saying? Matthias, I'm in trouble, you use the ellipsis, the ... I'm in trouble. Oh my. Be gone, creature. Whoa, that's a big boy. Prowling Chimera. Alright, Hulks are easy. I don't mind them too much. The big cats scare me. Whoa! Fettered monster. Okay. What's he? Yeah, he's doing that thing. Sir, give me another fractured orb and go away. Uh-oh. Oh, I was wondering why I was being stopped short. Sometimes I just have these crazy like memories that get brought up and then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this, and then the way that I think, and usually it makes sense in my head, and it's pretty jumbled when it comes out unless I'm really focusing. So yeah, I think more often than not you guys are like, this dude's crazy, and that may be the case, but I'm crazy smart too, and crazy handsome, so it kind of balances out. Matthias says, that was a very brief but interesting lesson, thanks. The only thing I remembered about the Mayans is the Doomsday Clock, and they sacrifice prisoners as a word of their gods, and that scary war whistle, or maybe that was the Incans. I don't remember about the war whistle. So Mayans, the Mayans did do sacrifice, but it was really only, like you said, like prisoners of war or other things like that. They didn't necessarily sacrifice their own. The Aztecs sacrificed everything all the time, and because ultimately the Mayans, this is the older of the two civilizations, of course, they did do the sacrifice, but it was more of like something that I don't know, let's just call it like the king or the emperor, whatever the hell you wanted to call it back then. They would be the ones, because they were closer to divinity, that would offer the sacrifices. So they would actually bloodlet themselves. And then, of course, it's not bad to have additional extra pieces of meat, because you can get those from like your enemies. That's fine too. But the Aztecs were the ones that they were sacrificing things like crazy. They're the ones that used sacrifice for a lot more prominently, and it was not just royalty or leadership or whatever. It was like, nah, this dude, yeah, let's take him. Obviously there were selective processes, but it was a lot less like restrictive. They're like, no, yeah, this guy's good. The Mayans did it a little bit more selectively, I guess. A little human sacrifice, whatever. Never hurt anybody. Only incredible thing I liked about Duskblood is Mikolash is back. Are you serious? I have to watch that. Good old Mikolash. Mikolash. Nico. He's back. The War Whistle. I don't remember the War Whistle. If the Duskbloods had a single player campaign, then I'm all for it. Same. But it's only multiplayer, then it gets the Night Rain treatment. Yeah, if it is forced multiplayer, I will not play it until console, and then I'll be like, alright, cool, whatever, but I'm not gonna put it on my channel. I'm not gonna do that to myself. Die, creature. Give me your big worm body. There you go. Worm hearts. I can't die because I only have 3 attempts, so let's not die. And my clear speed is atrocious, and I just need to be doing the higher tier maps because I need greater Jeweler's Orb. So like, I don't know at what level the item level is or when it starts dropping, but I need one. I did not have to wait this long to get a greater Jeweler's Orb last go around, so I desperately need them for my build because I only have lesser Jeweler's Orbs, so the greater Jeweler's Orbs allow you to socket an additional gem, but everything's capped until I get to that point. So also my XP gain is really slow because I'm a lot higher level than these creatures, but I'm still not in my opinion, powerful enough to kill them fast enough. So I'm kind of in a place where it's like, okay, damage is dropping off, XP is dropping off, so I'm leveling slower. I need to be doing higher tier content so I can get that XP gain, and then hopefully get the better drops and a higher chance of getting the greater jeweler's orbs. So yeah. Oh yeah, the Aztecs. That's probably what I meant. We have the Incans, Mayans, the Aztecs, and and what's that mythological race of people part of the conspiracy? Anunnaki and stuff. You're talking about all that stuff, like the ones that like that's like, oh, they had spaceships and whatever. Oh my. Kirili says, I'm having the same problem right now. No. We gotta start grinding higher content, higher level content somehow. But then, you know, you have the possibility of dying, which then sets back the XP, so... And then your clear time is ridiculously slow, or I say your, I'm talking about mine. Kirili is a lot faster and stronger than me, but if I could move like this, my clear speed would be much better. The problem is, I'm just not getting that... a good good XP, so. And my clear speed, even though I have like movement speed pretty high right now, I'm just lacking. Move! Oh my gosh, I'm sorry! Don't hurt me. Friggin' old age is corrupting and deteriorating my memories, says Matthias. Not video games like my mother was telling me. Exactly. If only she knew the truth. Kirili is having the same issue. Having higher level content is rippy. Lower level content doesn't level me fast enough to offset the death. Exactly, because I am getting no XP at these lower tiers because I'm, 10 levels above probably, but it's like I'm not fast enough to clear it. We're in a good time, so I could just rush the rares, but I mean that's a waste of a map in my opinion. Like some of the best drops in currency and stuff like that can come from just anything or just opening up a chest, you know. So it's like, Waystone 6, baby. I think I was thinking of Tatari or something like that. I've never heard of that. Only thing that rings a bell when you say Tatari, it sounds like Tartarus, which is like, you know, the prison for the Titans in Greek mythology. Yeah, but my clear speed is just ridiculously slow, and I can't get more powerful because I can't level fast enough, and then 2, I don't have any gems, I can't socket anything, so I'm in a bit of a pickle, as they say. No, the kitty cat. Grey Fangs the Haggard, get your butt back. Go away. Go away. Back it up, sir. Hit me. Go ahead. Quit trying to hit me and hit me. And Matrix reference engaged. That were almost a challenge. All right. So 6s even aren't giving me what I need in terms of XP. I thought it'd be a little... Well, hold on. Let's just do... We're at 66%. We're, you know, a quarter to the map. Let's calm our teats here, I guess. We'll do some math. We'll do some data collection here. Whoa, my gosh. How come you guys aren't moving? There you go. Now he's moving.
Hold still.
You. Lucky Number Slevin, man. I love that movie. Slevin Kalevra. Mad Dog. Oh, Bad Dog. That's such a great movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Die, creatures! Die! 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 They just keep coming. Right. I got him. You're next. Yeah. Come to me, Quadrillas. Scorpion Monkey of Ice. I choose you. Get wrecked. All y'all get wrecked. I picked up a Chow Mongrel for my pet that I tamed, my beast. And they're just so damn slow. Haste Aura does nothing because they're like a mile behind me every time. I was like, okay, let's try again. I'm gonna disenchant that gem and see if it actually works as intended. It better work good and well. No, you don't. Oh. Watch it. Oh, ball. Okay. Get away, sir. Good day to you, sir. You missed, you idiot. Oh, I'm about to die. You're dead. You lose, Carmilla. He's good. Good. I need to go ahead and... How can I cut his heart? Oh, you have to cut his nards. Okay, I see. The worm nards. I don't need this. I know I picked up something extra. Oh, you got what? The lacrimose leeches. No! Don't you dare. How did you... Oh, proximal tangibility, that's right. That's why. There's the Chow Mongrel, slow as hell. Matthias says, I absolutely love Lucky Number 11, such a great underrated movie. Speaking of that, we don't even see Bruce Willis in movies anymore. Yeah, isn't he like super old and like dementia and all that stuff? Yippee-ki-yay, mother, hoo-hoo. I like the Kansas City Shuffle, man. That's when you go left. You think they're gonna go left, but they go right. The Kansas City Shuffle. Oh my. I think the XP gain's fine now, actually, because if I'm only level like 75 and this is level, oh hell yeah, this is level like 5-ish, 70-ish, I mean, it's only 5 levels difference, so XP gain isn't hurt so badly. If there's more of a, you know, I would say greater than like a 10 level deviation, your XP is like worthless. So like if you're too strong, same thing happens if you're too weak, like, and you're doing a really high level. You can't necessarily just get power leveled. Because I was doing something similar with when I was trying to get my Infernalist Witch character leveled up, and even we confirmed it was, you know, it was still on like the XP or whatever was enabled, so it shouldn't have been a big issue, but it still took a long time to get that good old XP. It had to be within, I think, 10 levels. 10 to 12 levels, I think, was the sweet spot. If you're too low level. When you're above, it's like 5, 7 max. You don't want to be much higher than that. Give me that. Why do I keep getting the same Season 1 unique drops? Kansas City Shuffle, that's when everyone looks left, and you go right. Yep, exactly. Snap. Hold on, brethren. Hold on, brethren. Okay. Get out of here. Don't you go dying on me. Yep. Get wrecked. Loot goblin. Oh! Man, they hit hard. But I hit harder. Batman voice. Get wrecked. Is there no one else? We get the... I already have a million of those. Boom. Boom. And then ka-chow. Uh-oh. Not that. I'm going this way. This bores me. Oh my. Another one I really enjoyed that people even don't even talk about is the Prestige. Oh, that was great. David Bowie, the Space Oddity. I don't remember Space Oddity, but the Prestige I do remember. Prestige was great. I like the concept. Matter of fact, it's so funny. Matthias, I swear you have my home bugged or something. You know everything about my life. Because I've been working on magic lately, like doing like not cardistry because I'm not really good at sleight of hand or anything, but just card tricks, right? I've been working on like card tricks and things like that for like the last like 2 weeks, and I've come up with like 5 tricks that I've learned, and it's just funny because it's something that I was interested in. I had been collecting all the there's different variants of bicycle cards, and I love all the different types. I tried to collect. I had a nice little collection of cards, and I would always like, you know, that's what I would collect. I'm a collector of anything. Like I love video games. I love anything video game, of course, and then I also collect like cards. And whenever we used to travel a ton, which we still travel, but we haven't gone out of the country in a while, we always would collect currency. So we would like save currency from like whatever. But you know, people get shot glasses or something. It's like, well, I like currency. So we would like, you know, the different types of currency, we'd save that and stuff. Lesser mother of pearl. I needed a greater jeweler's orb. But anyways, in either case, I've been working on some magic tricks, and I have 5 that I've gotten down pretty well. The 5th one is actually quite difficult. There's a few that require a lot of different steps to take, but the last one is just the most confusing for me because it's the newest, so it's fun. I gotta find a way to maybe do one virtually. Like, it's hard to do tricks like that virtually, but I'd have to I could probably do the last one, in fact, virtually, but I just need to put the camera down and maybe put some pants on. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I had pants on. But if I didn't. But you know, that'd be a fun way to... Maybe we could do like, hey, we do a card trick when we meet this guy, or something fun. You know, I want to do different things. Like, yes, I want to be masochistic and eat spicy peppers, but I'd also like to do that. And I also want to do co-op sessions as much as possible because I think you guys love that stuff. And I love it too because it's fun. We get to play together. Right now I'm not in this position where I feel like I'd be much help in a co-op session in this game yet because this particular character is not quite as strong as I need her to be. But once I get to like monk levels of badassery, then yeah, we'll be doing some co-op. Oh my goodness, remember the Achilles insults that kid? He's like, that's why your name will never be remembered, boy. Yep. That's why no one will remember your name. He's like, I wouldn't fight him. He's like, he's a giant. Well, I wouldn't fight him. That's why no one will remember your name. And that's true. We're being a coward. Go out there and kill that that giant. They took that straight out of David, and they took that whole fight straight out of the Bible, by the way. I'm just gonna say. And you know this, Matthias. That's literally David and Goliath inspired. You know, a lot of people don't know this. And Matthias, and anybody in chat. I just say Matthias because literally Matthias is named, his name is pulled from like biblical references and stuff. Biblically inspired, I would say, his name, his handle. But what I would say is this. A lot of people, you know, a lot of people say they have knowledge of the Bible and things like that. And I'd say most people really don't. They just kind of recite what they've been taught or told or whatever. But I have, whenever I'm actually, like, I would say I have quite extensive knowledge of it. But I can't just recall everything. I have to sometimes go like, where am I not? I have it's full of notes, like full of notes, written all over and everything. Many years just reading whatever, research, blah blah blah. Cool. That's not what the point is. The point is, many people don't. They think they know the stories and how things worked out and how these historical accounts played out, but they really don't. And one thing that I love to just surprise people with is the fact that David did not kill Goliath with the stone. He did hit him with the stone and it knocked him over. But David actually took Goliath's sword from his sheath and decapitated him with it. So he killed Goliath with his own sword. A lot of people don't know that, but it's pretty awesome. Because that's pretty badass. I mean, that's about as badass as you get. But it's because he was talking trash about God, and God's like, oh yeah? And then David was like, oh yeah? But yeah, it's pretty funny. But anyways, yeah, so it wasn't the stone that killed Goliath. It was literally the fact that David then took Goliath's sword from his sheath while he was knocked out and stunned and decapitated. That's your biblical fact of the day. Lies. You and I demolished that map the other day. We did kick some major ass here, at least. But I feel like that was I'm joking on my spit. Sorry. I felt like that boss, I was like, I did not know all that stuff was gonna happen, so I felt like I wasn't helping as much as I could have, you know? That's what I meant to say. We were doing good damage, I think, and we worked really well together. I think we dominated it, like 100%. That's why I was like, yeah, we destroyed that map. But it was, it did take a while, but I think that the fights that we were in, we were doing really good positioning, and man, did you see all that crazy loot too? The fractured or fracturing orb, I know it's the proper way, but fractured orb, damn it. And some of those uniques, I was like, that was awesome. That was such a juicy map. But no, that's why I was like, thank you so much for inviting me. I did not and have not seen that boss anywhere on a cleansed map. The Imgur or whatever his name is. Imgur. He looks a lot like Zalroth. Not Zalmaroth, I'm sorry. Zarok. The Sekama's pinnacle boss. But yeah, we dominated. That was such a great map, and I think our characters like meshed really well together because we kind of have similar builds, and we would be able to just fill the area with spears. It was good. Really good. It was a great fight. As much as I want to kill all the monsters, I hate this level. No. I know it's not your name, but it's your handle, right? Remember how you said it's inspired from that? Rain and Matthias, it all has stuff to do with. Matthias, it's not my name. I don't know if I'm merely bringing knowledge and attention to our gift of God's gift to humanity, which is rain. Well, specifically, there's many gifts. Curly says, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was taking it slow just because I knew I might not be able to protect you. Same. I was taking it slow because I was like, if I die, then it's like I'm not, like, she invited me and I'm not even gonna be able to help her. But no, that was nice. The thing is, I just can't kill things fast enough, and my build requires, like, so like I do this, get in, and then I create distance so I can go in and hit them with my blood hunt. So my blood hunt after the spears is what does like the majority of the damage after I've created distance. So I have to get really aggressive, and the thing is, it's scary, especially in I hadn't done a map that high tier. So I was concerned. I was like, I don't know if I can tank a hit or not, you know. Unfortunately, we were doing pretty well. I don't think I got hit too many times, but it was nice. I was able to survive. But yeah, that was a great map. And your hideout looks awesome, by the way. You have all the things. Mine's very man cave-ish. Hardly anything on the walls. It's not too inspired yet. I need more items, I guess. I'm going off a tangent. That's just Matthias. That's funny. Speaking of tangents, Kirli says, I ended up writing a bug, though, because all of the content that was guaranteed drops, like Delirium, for example, only drops once split between party members instead of one set per party members. I think that would be good. Because, yeah, I noticed, like, whenever, like, people, like, oh, want to run maps, it's like, well, damn, like, yeah, but I feel like if you're running a map, like, Delirium or whatever, for example, there's very good examples, like, they get all of the drops, like, all the Delirium goes to them, like, okay, and it's fine, because you can run them infinitely, but it's one of those things where it's like, I do like to be in a position where, like, it's okay, like, I'm like, yeah, I have plenty, it's fine, and then I can be more generous, but early on, you're like, you kind of need that stuff. It's like, oh, so I think it would be cool to have 2 sets, or they split it evenly or something, not just like where almost one character gets all the mechanic currency or the league currency, and then it's like the other character gets like one thing. It's like, that's not cool. Unless they base it off like who did the most damage or something like that. I mean, even that I don't necessarily like, because who gets to it first is going to matter in the end game. But if you're playing together, it's like you want to have that sense of camaraderie. I think your blood hunt plus my bleed is what did it. All my bleeding's aggravated. So is mine. I did my bleeding. So I did this node. I'm not sure if this is the node you're talking about though. Oh balls. I picked this node right here. Crimson Assault. Bleeding you inflict is aggravated. So I do like that. And I then added. I need more sockets, of course, but I added Incision to Spearfield. And Incision helps because you gain those stacks, but the thing is, the stacks are consumed, which is kind of like, I think it's consumed. Let me see. How are they consumed again? With bleeding. Yeah. So I think I would need to remove that bleed possibly. So it's like I need to put Incision on Rake, essentially. Party members should share the spoils, just like pirates did back in those days. You put more grass down in your area. I liked it without the grass. I don't know if what grass would look like, because it's like a nice little like stone tile like area, so I like it like that. It looks clean. I have the Incision nodes too, not the crit damage ones yet. I think I have the crit ones. I'll show you in a sec. Yeah, they're consumed when you inflict bleed, so they kind of work against each other. You don't necessarily want... Oh gosh. Oh gosh, wait for me. I'm gonna invite this kid anyways. Get out of here, kid. Save yourself.
I've been itching for a good hunt.
Yeah, they're consumed when you inflict bleed, which kind of like is I don't like that, because I do but I don't, because I want to get the max number of stacks. You can get like I think 10 or 5 to 10 stacks. I don't remember what right now without looking at it. But I would like more, because essentially if I have more, then you can have much more magnitude of your bleed. But if you immediately inflict bleed and your Incision stacks are low, you're not getting the full benefit of it. So I'd like to put... Oh my gosh! That sucks. I can't... I cannot multitask. But yeah, I think it's better to have higher Incision stacks and then inflict bleed like on like guaranteed chance kind of thing. Did that full not ever come in? That's fine. His name was stupid anyways. Yeah. I think it's up to 30 because there's a note that grants 1% damage per incision. Yep, so you want Rage for 30%. You also want Max Incision. But once you hit 10 incision, the bleed chance goes to like 100%. Yeah, so it's like, it's always counter. So in my opinion, they're counteracting, right? And they're, the synergy, they have synergy, yes, but they counteract, which kind of sucks because you want to get that max benefit of the incisions. The incision magnitude or whatever, but you really can't. So because almost all the abilities either guarantee bleed or they will bleed at some point. You kind of want one that you want an ability that doesn't bleed, and then eventually you'd be like, all right, I can guarantee the bleed strike here, and then you'd be like at 30 stacks, whatever. I don't know. My understanding of it is still elementary. This dude actually just, yeah, now you're doing the thing. Why do you keep doing these baby strikes? That's the big stomp, right? That's the one that killed me last time. Thank you, good gosh. Die, boy. Oh my gosh. Son of a mother. Inhuman, if you could be masterfully skilled with any weapon other than your fist, which would it be? I'd love to be skilled with the Kusarigama. Not that I'd ever need that skill, but that's besides the point. That's funny. So I used to train with a lot of weapons, actually, in fact. I think I was best with what people call nunchucks. Nunchaku, or nunchucks. I was good with, like, swords. Not like a full, like... The katana is actually really long, right? So, like, it was more like the one-handed sword. Like, it was like the length. Is this dude actually gonna come and buy this? And then... So it was nunchucks first, then sword. Yeah, sword, then bow staff. Then we used Kali sticks and stuff like that. Those are super easy. Like I would actually say that's probably the same as the one-handed sword because the Kali sticks are pretty easy to use. But then I had a really big interest in like some of the more obscure weapons. So I trained with Kusarigama, but it didn't have the blade. It just had like, it was like 2 weights essentially. So I didn't die. And man, that was the most painful ass training I've ever done. When you made a mistake, you knew. And I remember I hit my head once. I mean, it just hurt. You know, you just mess up. You hit your elbows whenever you're trying to, you know, grab certain things. So it was that was painful. But I got to a point where I was pretty confident with them. But I never tried the bladed version because that was just like, yeah, I'll probably die. Probably blind myself. But yeah, so Kusarigama was cool. I think if I was like... So the thing is, I have handled most weapons. So I'm trying to think like what I'd really like to be good with. You know, one thing that I never really trained with is the Tonfa. Tonfa, or even something like... Hold on. Tonfa or the Sai, like a Sai. S-A-I, the Sais. Either of those would be cool. Everything else I can pretty much use. But those chain weapons are actually pretty difficult because when you're just, you know, I'd say learning how to master the movement of those, any weapon with a chain or a string, it's kind of, you get like this false sense of like control of it because although you can manipulate it in the sky, whenever it makes contact with the target, it ricochets and bounces, right? So that's what I feel like people don't understand about nunchucks and what makes someone that's actually good with them versus one that people that just dance around with them, right? Because if you hit something with them, you have to be able to, it recoils. You have to then be able to get control of it again. And that's what makes it such a difficult weapon to use, in my opinion. Anything like that, particularly, holy gosh. Particularly, the Kusarigama in particular, like if you're not like trapping someone's limb or something like that from it, or like wrapping around, then it's gonna get caught in something, or it's hard to start that cycle back up because it's strongest when it's in motion. So as soon as that motion stops, it's now just a weight, you know. So you then have to if you have the blade, you're fine, but if you have like the double weighted version, like you're kind of screwed. So there's just things like that the practical effect of it, you know, is sometimes a little bit easy to lose track of. Why do I have this and this? Why do I have that, and that? Anyways. Give me that jagged spear, baby. Matthias says, dude, if you played ping pong with nunchucks like Bruce Lee, or that clip of Bruce Lee playing ping pong with nunchucks, no, I certainly can't. But you know that was actually fake. That was one of the earliest instances of, like, you know, you started seeing, like, I mean, shoot, if you think about it, it was deep fake before deep fake existed. But that actually wasn't Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was very good with nunchucks, actually, and he that suit that was not him, though. Just so you know. Everyone thought it was him, even I, because I was a huge fan of him as well, but that was not him. That was just a film that was recorded to make it look like it was vintage and all that. It was so cool, so well done. But it actually was a commercial that was for something, so, and it ended up being like that. It was, you know, it was not him. But he was, of course, wearing the Game of Death outfit that he wore. He was only in that movie a handful of minutes, though, which is unfortunate. He actually died while the movie was filming. But yeah. That would be so sweet, but no, I'm not that good. I want to learn Spin Poi or Boogang. I don't even know. I have no clue what those weapons are, or if those are weapons. I am not familiar with those. But they do sound cool.
Hello.
Hello. Can I level like twice really quickly? Cold damage, no. Nar across the board. There, no. Yes. No. 17. We've got a tier 7, tier 6. Gotta juice these. 6. Why I just have random stuff? I am a hoarder. Which one's better? 29, 8, 23. Wow. This one's no good at all, is it? And then we'll go nar over here. And then we go here. And then we're going to do all the 3-to-1s. Then we're going to sell that. Whew. Gosh. Just flowy things. That wasn't Bruce Lee, Matthias. I promise. And I know, because I thought I don't know, after I saw that at the time, it was really hard to like record stuff. Then they finally started having like TiVo and things like that. I don't remember where I first saw it, but I think I might have first seen it on like YouTube, but then it was taken from an ad. And that was what was hard, because you couldn't find the source of many things back then. And it was actually fake. And I was like, oh no. Not really weapons, just flowy things. I like flowy things. Fat dog Rudy. I feel like I'm insulting you every time I say that, but I know now that's your dog's name. And he is fat. And that's just a fact, so that's fine. How are maps going? Maps are going a little slow. I'm actually at the point where I need greater jeweler's orbs. I'm struggling because I need greater jeweler's orbs so I can increase my damage flow. So I've been going higher tier. So right now I'm running like T6 so that I can have the ability to get more XP and then hopefully get higher level item drops so that I can get a higher chance of getting jeweler's orbs and things like that. But right now I need to get to, like, if I can get to level 80 or so, then I'll be okay. Item levels are going to start, I can maybe survive a few other things, but I want to get to where item level drops are higher so I can upgrade all of my gear for defensive purposes, which are fine. Like, I'm all res and stuff, but I still get hit pretty hard because of armor evasion. So not something I'm used to. I'm accustomed to having an energy shield, so it's a different playstyle for me for sure. But long story short, maps are good. I'm just kind of giving you a high level overview of what's going on. I'm looking to level so that I can equip a higher level spear. Looking to level so I can find greater jeweler's orbs, and looking to level as high as I can and run higher tier maps so I can then upgrade my gear to like its final form, Frieza form, so to speak. A la Dragon Ball Z reference. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I need to juice these. Juicy juice, juicy juice. Do, 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 do. Strong enemies. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the story of my life right now. How are you doing? Ooh. We'll do the... I don't like this one, so we'll do this one. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, it broke the map, okay. Fat Dog Rudy, jeweler drops rates have to be broken. I've heard of people getting a perfect jewelers before their first grader. You know, I don't know, because I did play my legacy character for the first day or so as I was crying myself to sleep every night because of the power drop. That, you know, the monk that I had made was Gosh tier, and then he ended up falling off significantly. I lost like 100k DPS and stuff like that. Survivability, I lost like 3k shield, whatever. And I got a perfect Jewel's Orb day one. But my drops are... I run 0 rarity, so I mean, I do what I want. But I still get some pretty good drops occasionally. But yeah. What? Hold on. Oh, this is right. Okay. That's what I did last time. So I ruined a Nexus because I was like, wait, is this the map I just did? And I used another Waystone, wiped the League mechanic, and I was so screwed. But yeah, I need greater jewelers, like hard. Right now they're like 50x. I'll never pay anything for any of... I'll never pay for those, so... So yeah, we're waiting. I have tons of lessers. But I have absolutely 0 graders. So I need to get some organically. Die! Blade Guard Buckler. That sounds fun. T6, thank you. Lady Sarah says, still have no idea what you can get from cleansed maps. Right now I'm just zooming to the Nexus to get the passive points. That's not a bad idea either. You get those Atlas passives. You can always beeline to unique maps as well. That's how you get the last few passive points on your Atlas tree. But essentially, Sarah, what you can get from cleansed maps, there's unique currency called fracturing orbs, so you can get those. That's the only place you can get fracturing orbs as a drop. Otherwise, you have to trade or whatever, right? So fracturing orbs are the unique currency you can get from cleansed maps. Other than that, in cleansed maps, there's just higher drop rates for currency in general. So you're gonna get more regals, you're gonna get more exalts and things like that. But yeah, that's the purpose of the cleansed nodes. It's just if you want to target farm. So if you want to target farm equipment, then you run corrupted maps. If you want to target farm currency, you run cleansed maps. The lady says, oh, indeed. Yeah, it's pretty simple actually. You know, like once you learn it, yeah. Pretty easy to remember. I like it because it gives you an ability to target farm, so it gives you even more agency over what you're farming. I love that. I love that stuff. But it's not to say that you can't find good currency and stuff on corrupted maps or whatever, and not to say you can't get you know, unique drops or whatever on cleansed maps, because you certainly can. You can get unique drops on cleansed maps as well. But you're just more likely to have higher drop rates for currency. Thank you, didn't pick up on that? Of course, that's what I'm here for. I am here to share my knowledge. Balls, man. That was bad. Could have been bad. Alright, let's see. We got a checkpoint over here. You know, I'm kind of torn between liking and not liking the fact that you can see the rares immediately. Because normally I clear a map by hugging a wall and doing the perimeter, and I try and do as close to 0 monsters left as possible. But with the rares showing up there immediately, it's almost like, I just want to target the rare, so I'm conflicted as how, you know, as to how I want to go about map exploration now, because I'm torn to be like, oh, well, there's a rare like right there, you know. So maybe that's something we can toggle on and off in the future, that after that time period that it passed or expired, we'd then be able to see the rares again. People complain about everything, specifically in this community. And I think that we, you know, I get that there are actual issues, you know, performance things and whatever else, but a lot of it is just preference. It comes down to preference and stuff. And I think that we gotta, you know, have the ability to like still have, like, I like a challenge, you know, so it's like, if they make it to where everything's just so damn easy, like, I'm gonna get bored, you know, and so it's like, I need the challenge, and I need, you know, certain things, like, I don't want them to completely make exploration and stuff, like, worthless, you know, like, so, I need things to still have meaning and significance. So, to me, if you can toggle that feature on and off, then I'd be fine with that. I would toggle mine off. I don't want to see the rares right when the map starts. You know, I want to kind of explore a little bit. I'm less inclined to skip a chest or, you know, things like that. Sarah says, personally, I need the currency, but farming corrupted maps for certain mobs to be liched from with my partner. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. However you want to, there's no wrong way to do it. It's infinite. You'll always have nexuses now around corrupted clusters, and then you can choose to cleanse them or not. So I typically cleanse them immediately and try and get as many, save as many of the corrupted nodes as possible. So yeah, I mean, it's however you want to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. You target, you know, no one can tell you how to farm correctly or not, you know. You can choose to farm whatever you want. I care more about currency as well. Gear is great and I love it, but I need to be where I'm clearing maps faster. That way I can care more about drops and stuff like that. Essentially, I know they have 100+ new uniques. Some of those are going to be pretty good. Some of the season 1 ones and stuff, like, you know, they're still decent, but they're not necessarily like build enabling. So I just care about collecting them more than anything. But if I can find one that I can like, oh yeah, I can use this, then I certainly would. Oh gosh. How'd you not get stunned? Okay, I was say you should be stunned, sir. That's what needs to happen right there, buddy. Harry Dweller of the Hollow? That's naughty. Matthias says, backseaters would assuredly disagree with you, sir. They would surely love to remind you how you're farming incorrectly. Oh, trust me. Trust me. I know. You know, the funny thing is, most of the people on stream are pretty kind, but in the comments of the videos that I do, they're like, they love to talk that stuff. And I'm like, alright. Everybody's an expert whenever they're anonymously typing under the protection of their their anonymity. But yeah, people are mean in the comments. People on stream are pretty nice though, fortunately. They're less inclined to be jerks. Whoa! Sarah says we are running 2 utility classes, Tactician and Lich. Pretty bland when solo, but when we team up it's just incredibly powerful. Nice. That is awesome. I'm so glad you reminded me of the name of the new ascendancy for Merc. I forgot about that. I played Merc the very first time I played this game, and I was new to the genre, I wouldn't say new to the genre, but like I'd revisited the genre from like Diablo 3 or whatever, so obviously there's a lot of things I had to learn and whatever. But I was the Merc at first, and then I made a bunch of really good characters. That's another season 1, damn it. And then eventually I made a very powerful witch, and then I made a monk, and I mained the monk pretty much, but I ended up doing a lot of different challenge runs on this channel as well, like one of the world's first like Thorns only type completions and things like that. I did a bunch of builds, like just for fun, a stat stacking build and whatever else, all kinds of fun builds, poison concoction and whatever. But I always tried to get the Merc back to like where he was really strong, and in endgame I could run the T15s and stuff, but I just wasn't prepared for like pinnacle content necessarily. I could never really get there comfortably, so I just would run that with my monk and my other characters pretty much. But I wonder how much better the tactician is. I went witch hunter, which I really did enjoy, and I wasn't stat stacking, so I didn't go gemling or anything, but I did really like the Merc in that playstyle, but I just couldn't get the power I needed. And then by then, when I was like reworking all these other things, I was like, I don't really have time to like make him viable. So I was like, let me just keep him where he's at. He's still somewhat decent. So, but yeah, I had to change him pretty drastically from what I had during campaign, because I was like learning the whole game at that time. I was like, what's happening? Too much. It was not. It was just a lot. A lot to absorb. Fat Dog Regis says, just started a totem tactician for my second character. One of my favorite playthroughs I've done so far. Nice. Totem tactician, sorry. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Matthias says, talk that stuff is the equivalency to nonsensical nonsense and egotistical elitism, yeah. Yes, it is. You're very articulate today, Matthias. Lady Sarah has haste R on her companion, 25% of weapon damage to allies through the tactician. Partner runs 30 extra chaos damage to allies, all the scepter buffs, things just explode. Nice. Very nice. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm kind of at a little bit of a... I have to kind of just grind, and I need greater Jeweler's Orbs. So once I get greater Jeweler's Orbs, I'll be able to slot more support gems, increase my power. That'll help with my clear speed. Then I can increase the tiers that I'm doing, and then focus on getting my max level gear for the, based on the highest item level available for drops. So, but right now, clear speed is just really slow, and survivability is a bit of an issue. But I say really slow, I guess in comparison to what I'm used to, because I had very high tier characters last season. Very, very fast clears, but this, it's a little slower. I mean, a lot slower actually. But I can definitely improve upon it. There's a lot of room for improvement. But yeah, I want to stick with the bleed build and make this like really, really powerful. But I just need a little bit of XP and gear to do that right now. I need stuff.
Bleed to dry.
What tiers are you running? I think I'm running like T6 right now. I'm trying to run like every map I run, I'm trying to run it rare. So tier 6, but then there's rares. So I can get, you know, max benefit from them, of course. Can also try corrupting skill gems for that 4th slot. Yep. That's a really good idea. Fat Dog, I completely forgot about that. Because I haven't, it's not like I've done any gem cutting prisms or anything like that. I'm not trying to improve the gem quality yet. Like that'll be like when I'm prepared for pinnacle content. So Fat Dog just brought up a great idea. I completely forgot about this. When you're first cutting a skill gem, you can actually corrupt it, and it has the potential to add a socket. That could be something I use for now until, of course, we then level, and then yeah, we'll certainly get, you know, drops that are greater Jeweler's Orbs, and we can naturally then socket that skill whenever we're going for like the final, and then of course increase the quality of the gem. So that is a great. I completely forgot about that. Completely forgot about that. Matthias says, I missed your response to my comment because some ad rudely interrupted you by trying to sell me some khakis. I said, oh, you're articulate today. I read your comment because it had all these big words. I was like, dang. Some big words. I like it. But no, I agree. That's exactly what talking that stuff means. Gosh. Farjian, thank you so much for subscribing. Choking on my spit. As one does. Die. Die. I could totally just leave this map now, but there's still 50 plus enemies. I like to get sub 50. That way I can make sure, like, okay, did I do? Oh my god, I need to get the full benefit, you know? Because one of these guys could just be holding my next divine. Don't you dare, don't do it. Fettered hook. Okay, let's go in the center real quick and then bounce. We shall bounce. Ow. Basket? Oh, I thought that was my divine. Basket, basket, basket. Bucket. Fat Dog, thank you so much for reminding me about that. Man, I completely forgot. That was something I learned early on, though, in last season. And I used it early on. And then when I started mapping, like, yeah, I, you know, drops, you could, you know, you had a lot of... I don't know. I got a lot of stuff. I played a lot, too. So I was able to get millions of everything. I had tons, I had surplus of everything I needed. But now I'm like, ooh, it sucks to need stuff again. I forgot what it's like to be poor.
Hold still.
But that was an excellent tip. I forgot all about that. I don't mind getting that extra T6. That's fantastic. Worth it. Totally worth it. We'll kill these fools. Yeah. Alright.
I've enough in the pack already.
Do you? Do you? Matthias is nonsensical nonsense as my catchphrase. I simply can't recall anyone before me using those two words together. Nonsensical nonsense. Anyone that says they did are purely... they're liars. Deny, deny, deny. That's what I always say. Fire, cold, lightning. See, these are... Unfortunately, they're just kind of like... low tiers of those resistances, but they are triple res. But could that be what somebody needs to just be beastly again? Could be. The last two people that said they wanted to buy stuff did not buy stuff. That makes me mad. Makes me real mad. I always get the same darned frackin' things. I forget what they're called. The same uniques, yeah. Don't you dare take my stuff. These are 6s. We have a lot of 6s now. It's fine. Oh, whoops. You go out here. Pretty sure I've picked up... Oh my gosh, why'd I keep doing this? Max strength. Okay, you can break this down. Is this better than what I have? I need that fire res, brother. Damn. I need fire res. That's really good though. Okay, so how could I find a way? Okay, if I do this. I need fire res, so then I socket this. Okay. Let's do some stuff. Let's do some stuff. I thought I had way more than 25 Artificer's Orbs. We're gonna go to... I have 1,000,000 runes, but do I have a greater desert rune is what matters. I'm not gonna search through all that. Great. Desert. Yes. Have one. Damn. We're getting closer. 67%. I could probably drop off some of these now. Let's see. Problem is now they don't show that value to the side, so really I could drop off some cold. So if I have cold resistance anywhere, there you go. This goes to fire now. So, all right, let's do some math. What is it? Glacial? I don't even remember. Glacial. Oh, balls. Glacial. Glacial. No, I don't need that. I just need fire. What am I doing? I don't need that. I still need a desert rune. Sorry. Dessert or desert? Ooh. I want both. Desert rune. Make me proud. Balls. We did it. So now we have a beta shield. Kira Lee says, if not, make one. You can 3-to-1 them. The runes, yeah, but I don't have a lot of the base runes anymore because I was getting rid of them. So I have like a lot of like, so like the runes I have, like the ones I care about are the elemental ones and iron. So elemental, so desert, glacial, storm, iron. And I don't have a lot of those. I have like 1,000,000 of like inspiration and stuff that I don't require. And then tons of the attribute ones. So I'm gonna end up reforging these eventually, but I don't actually have a lot of the elemental ones, sadly. Perhaps I lack the courage. Uniques. Oh, I don't have that. Wow. I have 1,000,000 in my other file though. Ugh. My legacy character. I don't know if anybody could use this. I mean, it's possible. Or I could just break it down. Whatever. It's gone now.
What can I do for you?
It's done. The damage is done. Alright. Sump. That was Sumpy. Yeah, so yeah, I was going to... I want to have more greater runes, but I don't have enough of the base level or even lessers to do that. All in due time. Okay, so we have this. This is cool looking. Slick is just like, I love how they added some like little assets to the map. It looks neat. Okay, so we did this. Oh no, I didn't even play the game right. I should have used this forever ago to influence it. I was dumb. That's okay. Honestly, let's see. What would be good? $16. That's a lot. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna do this. You're gonna come here. I wonder if I could. Oh, let's see. You know what I thought, Kirillese? I thought that you could actually like go back and say, for example, I've done a tower and I did a tower at 2 modifiers. I thought that I could go back and beat the same tower at 4 modifiers and then beat it at 6 modifiers. You have to just do it the first try, which that's kind of suck. It's kind of suck. Let me go grab another. I forgot how this mechanic works. Delirium. Really don't like those. Quantity line. XP gain. Yes, please. And then where's my tower? Where's... Yep, I was like, that sucks. Dude, who'd ever want the desert? Imagine living in Egypt. I bet they never got in the morning and said, yes, can't wait to go outside and embrace and look at the dang sand all day. Yeah, I would do the same, Kirillese. All 6 mods now. That's really smart. You have to. I just found that out today. I was like, oh no, what a waste. Let's do this map, actually. I know, so it's whatever, right? So we've got our little base here. I don't want to go every direction in the world like I did last time. But I will go like around here and maybe, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. We can go up or left. Left's fine. I always go left, right? So. Yeah. So let's do this map. This one's gonna need, we need 6 though. Damn. Okay. This might be really hard and I might actually die. But that's fine. Oh, actually I didn't realize the time. I don't have tons of time. We'll have to do a smaller map then. Because it takes me like 20 minutes to do a map, so I have to leave before long, so never mind. We'll do... Augury is fun. I like Augury. But it's got a mechanic on it. Decay. Trenches is so much fun. Trenches is fun? Trenches are fun. Yep, so the tower should be done at 6 mods. That is a great, great piece of advice, Kirillese. Of course, everyone should be doing that so you can get the max out of each of your towers. And you can then socket in 3. There seems to be a 4th tablet. I wonder if that's just where you place your unique tablets, because now there's unique tablets they can drop. I wonder if that's how that works. Hello? Oh, you. No, 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 no. You have the little circles. You're gonna raise up your babies, aren't you? I know it. I can sense it. I know it. No! He's doing it already. I don't even know how many attempts I have. I didn't even look. Oh, I didn't see how many portals. I probably have like 1 or 2 max. Can't die. Oh wait, never mind. I did a random map. I thought this was the tower. Gosh, this is the thing with my little brain. I get confused sometimes. Regal! Finally, good gosh. We're invincible now! We leveled. Now we can do anything. So, my little nodes are right here. Incision, bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. And then that. And then we have these. Yes, yeah. I think I just need more crit. I need crit hit chance. The bonus is fine. The chance is so ridiculously low. My crit chance before was like 35, 40%. I'm just a shadow of my former self. Ow. Scary. Why are there so many hags? Oh my gosh. Don't you dare. Missy. Oh, okay. That's fun. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, indeed. One thing I forgot, because we haven't faced them since Clearfell, is you don't necessarily want to use your disengage as the Huntress when you're facing off with the hags, because their attack is usually placed a little bit behind you in anticipation of that maneuver. So, Ravenous Bloodshaper. Who are you and why are you here? So instead you want to move laterally. Can I get through? My gosh. There you go. Wispies! Are you going this way? Why are you going this way? Okay, fine. You're gonna pick this one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! Don't do it. I need to get through here. Through. Fight. Through. It's like the line at the DMV. Give me that exile, baby. Blue Goblin. I said that last thing the last time I went and ate at Hooters restaurant. Why are there so many hags? Oh man. That's terrible. The bear is bearing right now. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, my face. No, 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 no. That were almost a challenge. I'm hasted, baby. I'm so fast. I'm backpedaling, backpedaling, backpedaling. Psh, psh, psh. Dead. Whoa. Okay. I zigged and then I zagged instead. That was my bad. Die, die. No. I don't know what to do. Get out of here. Sir. Death knock. Need you to take it easy, sir. Just keep on keeping on then in that case. Sapphire ring, baby! Whew, okay, can we just collect ourselves for a moment? That's okay, I picked up everything I need then. I was hoping that'd get a laugh. No, that was great. That was great. No tough crowd here. That was funny. I think they're going bankrupt, aren't they? My wife told me that. So I was like, well, we have to go now. Have to relive that experience one last time. Yeah, apparently I think they're going bankrupt, closing all the locations down or something. I don't know what they're doing, but you never really know these days. Ow. Okay, sir. No more lightning. I said, no more lightning. Alright. We've got one all the way up there. I'm gonna kind of take the scenic route. Nice. Give me that. Give me that loot. Checkpoint. Oh, we're already here. Hello, brothers. Oh my. Oh my. Matthias says, yes, Hooters restaurants are going out of business. Evidently, they're doubled. Oh my gosh, their assets are no longer paying the bills. That's terrible. You know, I don't think gosh, I haven't been in years. But I used to go all the time when I was younger, like when I was like, literally, like when I was like in high school. And I went a lot when I was like way younger. Like when I was like, what's happening when I was a kid? And then I went whenever I was, in high school, and I'd got at the time I'd get like the hottest wings, and I'd get the wings. Oh my gosh, why is she not dying? Okay, I would get at the time they called them Bentley. Bentley was the hottest flavor, and it was so good. And if I recall correctly, at the time, I could be completely like Mandela affecting this, but the flavor was like, that was like an off the menu flavor. You had to like ask for it, and I don't remember how I found it, but whatever. Bentley was the hottest. Well, they don't have Bentley anymore. They don't even know what that is. Instead, it's called 3 Mile, I guess. 3 Mile Island, or I don't know. It's like, I guess it's based off of that, the nuclear thing. So I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. But I remember I was like, oh, can I have the Bentley wings or whatever? And then they're like, the hell is this kid talking about? And I was like, the spicy ones? But yeah, they didn't get it. So I was like, alright. So I don't think I've been back since. But I got the 3 Mile, and it didn't, I mean, it was pretty similar. I'm assuming it's the same flavor, they just called it something different, but I don't know. They weren't very good. So I was like, yep, I'm done. Haven't been back since. Never looked back. The fried pickles used to be so good too. But yeah, the food just stopped tasting good after a while. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kirillise, let's see. You're so kind. You said, would you like this? Rapture Shroud. What am I rocking right now? So it's got, ouch, evasion. It's got spirit. You know, the funny thing is, I think it has the spirit that I needed to have both Wind Dancer and my creature. Like, no, never mind, never mind. 236, 214. And I haven't even touched it. Hold on, I can't even menu here. Hold on. Dang it. I think it's fine because I'm gonna end up getting. I'm gonna try anyways to end up getting some gear that's like as high level as possible, so that way I can have better rolls on it. But I really do appreciate it. But no, it's fine because I'm not really worried about spirit. This does have like a, you know, the lightning res and stuff, and that I could slap on. So, but it's which I could swap out, is what I meant to say. But I think I'll just stick with this for now, honestly, until we go, but until we increase that. I only want to change one time, you know, like, so I'm hoping to struggle through with whatever I get, and then, you know, have like high tier gear and potential to roll, and then move with that. But thank you so much. You're so kind. You're always really generous with your gear and your drops. As soon as I have stuff that I you know, that can help your builds on, so I can't wait. So I can be like, pay back the favor, you know, pay it forward. But thank you, Kirillese, you're awesome. As per usual. Cryptic Hell, I just need to see the base. What is that? Oh, okay. I like the way it looks. Alright, I need to finish this level. I already have, never mind. Let me just kill the rest of these guys and let's get out of here. We'll wait until the buff wears out, I guess. Nice. Don't you dare. I refuse to lose XP to you, sir. Those crossbow guys are pretty tough. They hit really hard. Oh, lovely. Love these guys. Funny thing is that set, that armor that Kirillese was showing me, that's one of the stronger or better variants of the armor and evasion, which is what I'm running, so very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Interesting enough, the Dastard armor is not bad, but it does require to have some higher rolls for sure. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. Matthias says, dude, the one and only time I went to that restaurant, the food and service were horrible. It was like, dude, this isn't even worth the eye candy. The waitresses were so rude. I was, yeah, I was, because I went when I was so young. Like, I never even, like, I was like, okay, I know, I never even really saw it that way. And then when I was in high school, we would just go because, not even for the girls, it was just because we wanted to see how many people could, who could eat the most wings, or, you know what I'm saying? So we were never even focused on what I am assuming the intended demographic was focused on, which is really funny. But I was like, man, I ain't worried about these scantily clad women. I just wanted to see how many wings I could eat. But no, whenever I went back, like I said, they didn't have the same like menu or anything. Okay, you and you. Wait, what? Okay. I thought I just did a bad thing there, but we're okay. We have a lot of 16s now as well. Throw these in the 3-to-1 for now. This goes in our accessories. We've got a handful of normal rarity sapphire rings. At least I have 1, 2, 3, 4 already. I wonder if those are still... I know they nerfed dream fragments, but... Actually, do these stack? They do stack. And then we're gonna juice these. Okay. Let's juice those real quick, and then we'll call it a day. Boom, boom. And then regal these mothers. Oh, crit damage is nasty. Crit hit chance, crit damage. Like, that's just so painful. I might want to get rid of that one too, honestly. Why did I get rid of this one? I don't mind this one at all. I do mind this one. Okay, well, I think that's gonna be a wrap. Let me just take a look at it right here. This is our corrupted map. And then this is the cleansed one. I think we did all the cleansed. Okay, so what we'll end up doing is probably going this way and maybe just up and away. I don't know. Like, we got this here and this here, so I imagine there's gonna be stuff by these water biomes, so maybe just continue heading left, stick by the water, and then just keep going this way. I don't know. And then we can eventually go up. I don't want to go every direction like I did, desperately looking for citadels like I did last time, because that was just a waste. So as long as we have this clear right here, and our reliquary vault, I think we can just move in one direction and try and find the next nodes, but they don't seem to be over here. So maybe we clear these out we go here and then go up. Maybe connect this and then go left. I want to stick close to the water because there's a lot of water biomes. Mark was talking about that being like where some of the best unique maps are. So anyways, you guys are awesome. Matthias, you're ridiculous. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It was a blast. As per usual, always have fun doing these streams. I'll be doing a little video just kind of summing up like the experience of the corruption and cleansing process and hopefully making that clear for most people. And then other than that, we'll be focusing on creating content for the other channels. Got to start pumping that stuff out because we've got a lot of things coming where I'm going to take some time off. So I want to make sure have a surplus of videos for you guys ready whenever I'm not physically present. But you guys are awesome. Please have a great rest of your day. Be safe. Thank you so much for being the best part of my channel. And until next